I received an incredible call saying that I had passed the interview for the Extraordinary Group, a company valued at hundreds of billions. But I never went to that company for an interview, because this company was a huge conglomerate that was completely out of my reach. Looking at the luxurious lobby in front of me, a mechanical voice suddenly rang out. Ding! Congratulations, host, for activating the Newbie Dad check-in system. What the hell is the Newbie Dad check-in system? I'm not even married. Where did the kids come from? I touched my chin. Does this mean I have to go make babies now? The host only needs to go to the place where his children are located and check in to obtain the system rewards. Host, you already have children. The system efficiently pushed a message into my mind. I was completely in shock after reading it. It turns out they were twins, and the mother of the children is none other than the CEO. At that moment, a shrill voice interrupted. Su-chen, what are you doing here? Why did you come to the Extraordinary Group? This is not a place for people like you. Leave quickly. Shanshan, who is he? The man holding Yang Shanshan's arm asked in a very gentlemanly manner. Yang Shanshan put on an expression of pain. He is my ex-boyfriend. He's the poor guy the first told you about. Zhang Hao suddenly realized. Then he looked at me with a condescending and critical gaze. Can he not find a job now? Considering he is your ex-boyfriend, I can get him a position at our company. We need people in the cleaning department. I don't know if he would be willing. Yang Shanshan immediately covered her mouth and burst out laughing. The cleaning department, isn't that for cleaning toilets? I think Su-chen would be perfect. Having awakened the system, I had no time to listen to what they were saying, because the system rang in my mind again. Congratulations, host, for successfully checking in at the Extraordinary Group. Reward: a Patek Philippe watch, the most expensive one, valued at 17.6 million yuan. This system gives us 17.6 million watch immediately after checking in. This is the most expensive Patek Philippe. Even a Ferrari supercar is inferior to this system. The fact that I am successfully checking in right now, does it mean my twins have already arrived at the Extraordinary Group? Yes, host. Twins. Haha, Daddy is here. I was too lazy to pay attention to the two flies still singing and harmonizing in front of me. I pushed aside Zhang Hao, who was blocking my path, and headed to see my twins and the mother of the twins, the CEO of the Extraordinary Group, Yan Bingxiu. Su-chen, how rude of you. Zhang Hao was kind enough to introduce you to a job, and not only do you not appreciate it, but you push him. Apologize to Zhang Hao immediately. What is that object on your wrist? Her delicate hand seemed to have been touched by something shining with an expensive light. I brushed Yang Shanshan's hand away and snorted coldly. Apologize? He blocked my path. What's wrong with pushing him aside? Is he worthy of getting me a job? Zhang Hao was left speechless. Didn't Yang Shanshan say I was a poor guy? How could I be wearing a watch valued at 17.6 million? You can buy many Ferrari supercars with that. Ding! The twins are approaching rapidly. Hearing this news, I was overjoyed. My babies are here! Twins! I had never seen twins in my life. Yang Shanshan, who had come to her senses, immediately changed her expression. That watch, it must be rented. He probably came to the Extraordinary Group today to pose as a rich, handsome, and successful man. I was his classmate for 4 years, and we dated for 2 months. How could I not know his background? With his flea market clothes, how could he wear a 17.6 million watch? I was speechless. Rent the watch? Only you two would think of something like that. I finished speaking and showed the job offer letter from the Extraordinary Group. Yang Shanshan looked at the acknowledgement in her hand with incredulity. It not only had the unique logo of the Extraordinary Group, but also the official seal. It clearly stated, Dear Su-chen, you have passed the interview and have been formally hired as an official employee of the Extraordinary Group. The purchase note in Zhang Hao's hand was indeed a Patek Philippe purchase note. It clearly indicated that the buyer was Su-chen. This was too unbelievable. Could it be that Su-chen was a hidden second-generation super rich guy? Yang Shanshan's heart churned with waves at that moment. She felt very uncomfortable. Su-chen not only received the offer from the Extraordinary Group, but also bought a 17.6 million watch. He truly was a super hidden, rich, handsome, and successful man. Zhang Hao felt even worse at that moment. Immediately, he stopped caring about anything. To save face, he snorted coldly. So, what if you received an offer from the Extraordinary Group? If you don't apologize for pushing me, I can make you lose your job immediately. Zhang Hao's uncle is the head of the Human Resources Department of the Extraordinary Group. Whether you can work here or not depends on a single word from his uncle. I smiled. Please, call your uncle. I would like to see how he can make me lose my job immediately. The CEO of the extraordinary group is the mother of my children. I obtained the offer from the extraordinary group without going through an interview. Just thinking about it, I knew it was a special arrangement by the mother of my children. Fine, I'll call him now. Wait for me. Zhang Hao got angry and immediately pulled out his phone to call. After the call, he looked at me with contempt. You will be fired immediately. Just as he finished speaking, a woman in a professional handmade tailored suit stepped out of the elevator. If the looks and figure of the most beautiful actress in the entertainment circle were a 9, she was definitely a 10. Her beauty and figure were a 10. She was beautiful and stylish. It's CEO Yan. CEO Yan was heading toward me. Zhang Hao was stunned and even felt his breathing become difficult. His heart was pounding. He quickly used his other hand to straighten his outfit, deliberately distanced himself from Yang Shanshan, and looked at the approaching Yan Bingshu with the expression of a loyal lapdog. Great, with Yan Bingshu here, I don't have to wait for his uncle to come. She can fire this new employee right away. He had already imagined the scene where he would use Yan Bingshu to slap me down, and he could also present himself as a victim to the authoritative CEO Yan to gain her sympathy. He couldn't wait any longer to go greet Yan Bingshu. CEO Yan. Zhang Hao greeted Yan Bingshu in a polite and gentlemanly manner. But Yan Bingshu didn't even look at him. She passed right by him and kept walking. This left Zhang Hao stunned. I was very surprised after learning that I had unexpectedly become a father through the system. From the moment Yan Bingshu appeared, I knew she was the mother of my children, so I also knew she was coming to look for me. To be honest, Yan Bingshu was truly a dazzling beauty. Yang Shanshan was already the most popular girl in her school, with a beauty rating of 8 or more, but she paled in comparison to Yan Bingshu and was completely eclipsed. Su Chen, you've arrived. After speaking, Yan Bingshu turned to look at Zhang Hao with a cold gaze. Who just said they were going to fire him? At that moment, Zhang Hao felt like a clown. He never imagined that I and Yan Bingshu knew each other, and I had only just entered the lobby of the extraordinary group to start work, and Yan Bingshu had personally come down to find me. This demonstrated the importance Yan Bingshu gave me. Yan Bingshu immediately said, coldly to the secretary behind her, tomorrow I don't want to see Zhang Hao in the group again, nor the people who support him. CEO Yan's secretary complied with the order immediately and dialed a phone number. Zhang Hao's expression changed drastically. He didn't expect that Yan Bingshu, because of me, would not only fire him but also his uncle who backed him. CEO Yan, you can't do this. My uncle and I have made many contributions to the extraordinary group. To fire us suddenly like this, it's not fair. Yan Bingshu gave him a cold look. Do you need to teach me, Yan Bingshu, how to do things? The secretary immediately called the bodyguards, who quickly took Zhang Hao away. Yang Shanshan was completely stunned witnessing this scene. What relationship do I have with Yan Bingshu? Yan Bingshu fired him and his uncle directly for me. Isn't she afraid of looking bad? She rushed up to me, trying to be clever. Everything before was my fault. I was deceived by Zhang Hao. Can we start over? I looked at her with disdain and said, no. A good horse doesn't eat grass it has already grazed on. I, Su Chen, am the man you will never be able to have again in this life. Just then, Yan Bingshu stood in front of her, looked at Yang Shanshan and said coldly, you are Su Chen's ex-girlfriend. Since you are his ex-girlfriend, don't come to bother him anymore. From now on, I will take over Su Chen's life. Thank you for handing him over to me. You missed out on a very excellent man. Yang Shanshan looked at my back and Yan Bingshu's as we left, unable to react for a long time. She didn't expect that I wasn't Yan Bingshu's cousin, but the person she liked. What did this mean? That I was incredibly excellent. At that moment, she wished she could take a regret pill or be reborn and go back 3 years. If she had known before that Su Chen had such a powerful background and such a wealthy family, she would never have broken up with him. In the CEO's office on the top floor of the extraordinary group, Yan Bingshu turned around and looked at me. Her cold and dominant aura dissipated. Did you bring your household register and ID? I asked in confusion. For what? Yan Bingshu raised her wrist and looked at her watch. She said, it's 10 in the morning. We have 2 hours before the civil registry closes for the afternoon. It's enough time to go get our marriage certificate. I was stunned. I hadn't even seen the babies yet. This mother of my children was already impatient to take me to register the marriage, and she didn't even explain anything to me. CEO Yan, I'm sorry. I still don't want to marry you. Besides, I just arrived today and I need to report to the Human Resources Department. I'm leaving. I finished speaking, turned around and opened the door. I, Su Chen, now have the system. Am I afraid of not making money in the future? I don't want to be a gigolo. If there is to be a marriage, it should be me, the man, who proposes, not this mother of my children, Yan Bingshu. As soon as the door opened, thump, thump, thump. 2 small babies, like rose-carved jade dolls, fell directly in front of me. Ouch! Ouch! It hurts! We were discovered. I was paralyzed seeing the 2 little babies. At that moment, the system voice rang out. Ding! Congratulations, host, your twins have arrived. The host's physique has been strengthened. Is this handsome brother Baba? Daddy? Baba, hug. Tuan Tuan wants a hug. The baby girl, with a little braid, like a porcelain doll, got up from the floor. Her 2 chubby little hands grabbed my leg, and it looked like she wanted to climb up my neck. The girl was identical to Yan Bingshu, very cute and beautiful. Her big round eyes seemed to speak. Seeing her, my little heart melted. The other baby was a boy. He looked exactly like I did when I was little. However, the boy got up from the ground without saying a word, then stood to one side with the face of a little adult. His big black eyes looked at me with curiosity and a little bit of rejection. I understood this rejection. After all, I became a father suddenly and had never appeared in the baby's previous lives. It's normal for the baby to reject me, the father who appeared out of nowhere. If we spend more time together, the rejection will disappear, haha. I love both babies. Not only are they twins, but they are also a boy and a girl. I have a son and a daughter. Perfect. In a very good mood, I leaned over, picked up Tuan Tuan, who was hugging my leg, and pinched her soft white cheek. Tuan Tuan, you are very smart. You recognize me as Daddy right away. The little girl smiled very happily with her mouth wide open. Run and Tuan Tuan are very smart. Baba, where do you want to go play? Tuan Tuan will go with you. I looked at the little one's appearance and smiled. Let's go. Daddy will go play with you. Wow, great! Baba is going to play with Tuan Tuan. Tuan Tuan is so happy, wow! Baba, Tuan Tuan wants to drive a stroller. Tuan Tuan wants to drive the stroller for Baba to see. Baba is going to see Tuan Tuan drive the stroller. I left with Tuan Tuan in my arms. The boy looked in the direction we were going. He turned to look at his mother, Yan Bingshu, sitting in the office chair. Seeing Yan Bingshu wave her hand at him, only then did he follow me. The babies are almost 3 years old and walk very steadily. The boy looks just like me, as if we were carved from the same mold, and he is very handsome. He doesn't call out to me, but he follows me in silence. Walking in front, I naturally noticed my son following me and deliberately slowed my pace so my son could catch up. Yan Bingshu withdrew her gaze. Then, the scene where I refused to marry her flashed in her mind. However, seeing me happy with the 2 children and actively calling myself the father of the children, she felt a little relieved. Ding! She received a message on her phone. She took it out and saw it was from her best friend, Gu Yuxin. How's it going? Are you on your way to register the marriage? Congratulations, congratulations. You were rejected. The young and beautiful CEO of the extraordinary group Yan Bingshu proposed marriage and was rejected. I can't help but laugh. Tell me how you were rejected. It seems you really want to come back early to inherit the family fortune. Don't you care if I tell your parents that you're not working but at home doing game live streams? Don't laugh at me, I'm listening seriously. I never thought that you, with a fortune of hundreds of millions and the beauty of a goddess, would be rejected when proposing marriage. Yan Bingshu's round, cool fingers typed on the screen, "Send me the tips for flirting with handsome guys. I gave them to you before, why didn't you want them?" Gu Yuxin replied laughing. "Fine, I'll teach you some tricks that guarantee you'll conquer your handsome guy quickly." Did you tell him that Tuan Tuan and Lele are his children? No, but it seems he knows. Lele looks exactly like him. He calls himself Daddy with Tuan Tuan. While writing this paragraph, Yan Bingshu unconsciously smiled a little. The touching image of me hugging Tuan Tuan and Lele following me also came to her mind. He rejected me. I think I was too impatient and scared him. After all, we only saw each other once 3 years ago. If he likes children, it will be easy. Daughter, that doesn't sound like you. You're even admitting your mistakes. Before, it was always others who were wrong and never you. It seems you've met someone you like, and everything you do wrong is your fault. If you meet someone you don't like, even breathing wrong is their fault. Zhuer, you are very strict. Actually, it's very simple. First, suppress your desire to marry him immediately. Isn't he working at your company now? You are in an advantageous position. Infiltrate his life step by step, get to know him, understand him, and win his affection. You can definitely conquer him. Yan Bingshu looked at the 4 tips and reviewed them in her mind. Immediately, the corner of her lips on her cold and beautiful face curled slightly, a subtle and excited smile. At that moment, I took the babies to the playground that the company had specially built for them. There are many toy strollers and racetracks here for the babies to play. Ding! The host brings the babies to play for the first time. Successful check-in at the toy car playground. Reward for the host: a Rolls-Royce Phantom, the most expensive luxury car in the world, valued at 170 million yuan. Hearing this sound, I smiled. The Newbie Dad check-in system is truly incredible. With this reward of a 170 million Rolls-Royce, even the most expensive Bugatti Veyron supercar is inferior. An image even appeared in my mind. Me driving in the driver's seat, the mother of my children, Yan Bingshu, sitting in the passenger seat, and the 2 adorable babies sitting in the back seats. Thinking about it is very comforting and beautiful. Baba, this is Tuan Tuan's car. It's pink, isn't it pretty? Tuan Tuan, as if she were presenting a treasure, drove her pink stroller to me, looking for compliments. I smiled at her affectionately. Pretty? My Tuan Tuan has good taste. Baba will teach you how to drive. My technique is great. That said, Tuan Tuan turned the car and drove it with style. The little person drove the stroller like a cool supercar, performing drifts. I clapped happily. Great! My Tuan Tuan is great. Seeing my daughter so excellent, an indescribable sense of pride and satisfaction surged in my heart. Although this feeling was unfamiliar, it was wonderful. So this is what it feels like to have a baby. It's indescribable. Bang, bang. Someone approached, clapping. Tuan Tuan really inherited all of Zuyer's advantages, driving the stroller so well while being so small. When she grows up, she'll definitely be amazing. Hearing this, I looked over and saw a man about 28 years old, standing to one side. What will I be when I grow up? What do you care? Do you live on the beach? You're too nosy. Besides, my mommy has emphasized to you not to call her Zuyer. Tuan Tuan stepped out of the stroller, jumped and ran toward me. She hugged my leg with her little hands and looked at Jiang Hui, who had just praised her, with hostility. Baba, his name is Jiang Hui. He is a suitor of mommy's, but mommy ignores him. What an attentive little cotton jacket. Are you Tuan Tuan and Leilei's father? Jiang Hui couldn't help but ask. He had heard the news today and had rushed over. He didn't expect it to be true. I looked at Jiang Hui, raised my eyebrows, and corrected him. I am Tuan Tuan and Leilei's biological father. Jiang Hui clenched his hands into fists. He never expected that Tuan Tuan and Leilei's biological father would just be a recently graduated college student. What else does this college student have besides being younger and more handsome than him? However, Yan Bingshu is still not married, so he still has a chance. Immediately, a smile appeared on his face again. Mr. Su, as a man, you should have a strong body. How about we arm wrestle so Leilei can see? A man's arms must be strong. He had been training since childhood. Now his chi and blood had reached $120 cars, and his arm strength was $1,000 jin, about $500 text, kilogram dollar. Ordinary people couldn't compare to him. He would use strength to teach me a lesson and make me realize the huge gap between common people and the elite. Before I could speak, the adorable Tuan Tuan protected me behind her little body, hands on her hips, and said, "Are you worthy of competing with my Baba in an arm wrestle?" Jiang Hui did not get angry, but looked at me. Mr. Su, do you not dare? You're right, after all, you are just an ordinary person. It's normal for you not to dare to compete with me. I won't force you. I smiled slightly. It was the first time I had seen someone looking for a beating. Since that's the case, I will reluctantly oblige him. The physique enhanced by the system is not something any random cat or dog can challenge. Baba! Tuan Tuan raised her head to look at me with concern. She knew that this bad guy in front of her was very strong and could lift many toy cars with one hand. She feared her Baba might lose. Su Chen, you are too arrogant. Don't cry in front of the children if you lose in a little bit. Yang Hui, the suitor of the mother of my children, Yan Bingshu, wanted to embarrass me in front of the 2 babies, so he wanted to compete with me. Barely a second later, Jiang Hui's wrist was slammed down by me. Jiang Hui was in shock. How was it possible? His arm strength had already reached $1,000 jin. In his circle, no one was as strong as he was. He couldn't believe an ordinary college student could take him down like that. He definitely wasn't prepared just now. Right, I wasn't prepared, let's do it again. Lele, standing to the side, looked at me. This time, besides rejection, there was a trace of curiosity. The adorable Tuan Tuan jumped for joy and cheered. Baba won, Baba is super strong, Baba is number one. At that moment, Yan Bingxie also smiled. She was looking at the computer. On the computer screen, she could see my situation here directly. She saw the scene of my arm wrestle with Jiang Hui just now. Very good, he won. He is indeed the man I chose. With her heart in her hand, Yan Bingxiu had already left the office and walked toward the children's play area in her high heels. Here, Jiang Hui asked me for another round. The adorable Tuan Tuan made a face at Jiang Hui. You're a sore loser, you're very funny. Just now he asked to compete with me. When he lost, he said he wasn't prepared and wanted another round. Will he win in the next round? That was an instant wipeout. Hearing these words, Jiang Hui's face turned red and hot. He looked at me with hostility, insisting on competing with me again, or else he wouldn't be able to recover his image. Is the shadow area I left you just now not large enough? Do you want to seek more blows? I said indifferently. Jiang Hui gritted his teeth. If you beat me this time, I'll give you $100,000 yuan. If you lose, you don't have to pay. $100,000 yuan is 10 months of your salary. In my hands, I already have watches worth tens of millions or cars worth hundreds of millions. $100,000 yuan in front of me is so small it can't even be seen. I'm not interested in money. Jiang Hui looked at me with a what a show-off expression and gnashed his teeth. If you beat me again, can I kneel down and call you daddy? Is that okay? I don't have that hobby. My mouth twitched. What kind of people are Yan Bingxiu's suitors? They are either looking for a beating or looking for a father. Tuan Tuan smiled with her mouth rounded. I don't have that hobby either. I don't want to have a brother as old as you. How embarrassing. Even Lele's mouth twitched. A barely contained smile even appeared on the little adult's serious face. The look in his eyes toward me also added a few more colors. Jiang Hui was so angry his face became congested. He stood up and glared at me furiously. I think you're just afraid to compete with me and afraid to lose. I raised a finger and said indifferently. Satisfy your desire for a beating. I will compete with you using only one finger. Don't say I didn't give you a chance. Jiang Hui was truly furious. This was total disrespect. This is your own arrogance. I am not bullying you. Saying this, Jiang Hui sat down. He competed against my finger with his hand. He thought I was incredibly arrogant. He definitely lost the previous round because he wasn't prepared. This time, he wanted to turn the situation around and make me lose completely in front of Tuan Tuan and Lele so that they would realize I am just an arrogant blowhard. The other children also approached. When they saw me and Jiang Hui maintaining the starting posture for the arm wrestle, a curious boy asked, "Has the competition not started yet?" A father with a sharp eye said, "It already started. That handsome uncle has resisted the opponent's hand with just one finger. That is way too impressive." Jiang Hui's expression became uglier and uglier. He used all his strength, but he couldn't move my index finger even an inch. 1,000 layers of waves rose in his heart. I said calmly, "You're in peak condition now, right? I'm gonna make my move. We can't keep going like this, can we? Are you ready?" "Ready." He didn't believe I could pin his wrist with a single finger. But just as he finished speaking, my index finger pinned his right arm down again. "Yes!" Yan Bingxiu tightly clenched her small pink fist. Then she immediately regained her cold and serious attitude because she was standing in the employee workspace, watching my situation through the large glass. She had to maintain her serious image at the company. CEO Yan, the young master and young lady have been playing for quite a while. They must be thirsty. I'll go call them to drink some water, said Special Assistant Zhang, standing behind Yan Bingxiu. Call them to the office. Ask the kitchen to send lunch. Add an extra salad. Yan Bingxiu let a quick flash of joy show in her eyes. Understood, CEO Yan. Assistant Zhang finally understood why his CEO set aside contracts worth hundreds of millions to come here. As a special assistant, of course, he had to help his CEO. On my side, little Tuan Tuan jumped 3 feet high. She waved her pink skirt and was so excited, she almost took flight. Wow, wow! Baba won! Baba is too amazing! Baba is Tuan Tuan's idol. The kids nearby also clapped. Tuan, your Baba is so strong. He won with one finger. That's a total wipeout. Lele, your Baba is too powerful, said a boy, touching Lele's arm with envy in his eyes. Lele looked at the other's star-struck eyes of envy, and the stiff corners of his mouth curled slightly into a smile. Although he was using concise words, he uttered the word, With my fighting skills activated, my hearing was also much better than before. Amidst the shock and chatter, I naturally didn't miss my son's, I smiled. Not bad, son. From the initial rejection of me, his father, until now, he is accepting me. Although he doesn't call me daddy yet, it doesn't matter. Mr. Su, it's time for lunch. Manager Gu has prepared a meal for you, the young master, and the young lady. Will you eat now? I looked at Tuan and Lele. Baby, shall we go eat? Tuan touched her little belly. Baba, Tuan is a little bit hungry. Lele remained concise. I don't know if he inherited the CEO gene from Yan Bingshu. A boy just over 2 years old insisted on speaking with the maturity of a little adult. This amused me. I reached out and pinched my son's pink-carved jade face several times. Lele directly frowned. Tuan laughed out loud at the side. Jiang Hui watched the touching scene of fatherly and filial affection from the side, feeling very depressed. Accustomed to being the center of attention wherever he went, he had now become a clown, whom nobody paid attention to. At this moment, I stood out, becoming the most handsome focus of the entire place. He was unwilling. How did he lose like that? The other party was just an ordinary college student. How could he have such powerful arm strength? This arm strength was at least $2,000 jin. His chi and blood had probably reached $150 cars, and he was about to become a warrior. Otherwise, how could the other party pin him so easily with one finger? Could it be that he isn't an ordinary college student, but someone from a martial arts family who came out to train in the secular world? Thinking of this possibility, his whole body trembled violently. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that I came from a martial arts family, not to mention my incredible beauty that surpasses ordinary people. Hard to describe, even with all praises, just my arm strength, the talent of being about to become a warrior at such a young age, and being loved by Yan Bingshu. All these signs indicated that I am definitely not an ordinary person. Disciples of martial arts families who enter the secular world come out to train. Under no circumstances should they be offended. Jiang Hui shuddered immediately, then walked quickly toward me. Thump! He knelt on both knees in front of me and shouted, willing to accept his defeat. Daddy! The entire audience was in shock, especially Special Assistant Zhang. He knew Jiang Hui's background. He was a true rich young man from Shanghai, and only a rich young man like that would dare to pursue his CEO. Before, he thought that Jiang Hui, after being beaten by me, would probably be unconvinced and such. But he never expected that Jiang Hui would be so sincerely willing to accept his defeat, kneeling in front of me and calling me Daddy. It was very unexpected. After all, this was a public place, especially since he also saw colleagues in the office area peeking through the glass, craning their necks to look. I also didn't expect this guy to actually kneel and call me Daddy. I really don't have that hobby. Daddy? Jiang Hui didn't see my reaction and thought his voice was too low and that I was dissatisfied. So he shouted again. This voice was deeper than the last one. A man with chi and blood reaching $120 cars shouted "Daddy" with all his might, echoing throughout this floor of the group. The employees behind the soundproof glass heard it and were baffled. Who is calling someone Daddy? Why is he shouting so loud? Get up, I said calmly, seeing more and more people looking. Jiang Hui stood up full of gratitude, then bowed and apologized. Mr. Su, before I really didn't recognize you. I didn't know your strength was so powerful. Let's be friends. If you have any errands, don't hesitate to tell me. I will definitely do them well for you. I will immediately prepare a list of suitors for CEO Yan. I assure you that I won't have even the slightest intention of ambition towards CEO Yan. To make up for my previous recklessness, I hope you accept this non-nominative bank card. There are $10 million inside. Jiang Hui respectfully put the card in my hand with both hands and then left in a hurry. The people around were stunned. Is this still the young Master Jiang Hui of the Jiang family we know? He actually knelt on the ground and called this handsome man Daddy, and also handed him a $10 million bank card? Special Assistant Zhang looked at me with an expression of surprise. This is the man our CEO has chosen. This is the biological father of the young master and young lady. It's too incredible. This way, please, Mr. Su. Special Assistant Zhang followed me, Tuan and Lele upstairs, with politeness and respect. At that moment, Yan Bingshu, who had personally witnessed how the father of her children subdued Jiang Hui, had already returned to her CEO office. Hearing the sound of the door opening, she swallowed the smile on her face, but her eyes still radiated tenderness. The aroma of food floated in the office. The skill of the Michelin chef was not an empty name. The food arranged on the coffee table was perfect in color, aroma, and flavor. Yan Bingshu walked over and sat down first, waving for me and the two little treasures behind me to come over and eat. Tuan, clutching her little belly, trotted happily, not forgetting to call out, "Baba, Baba, come eat!" Lele walked properly and squeezed in with his sister on the small sofa, leaving the seat next to his mother empty. I looked at my son with satisfaction and approached smiling. "This is the lunch sent by the house chef. Try it to see if you like it. If you don't like it, I'll have them prepare something else." Yan Bingshu gently pushed the cutlery toward me. After doing this, she felt her heart rate noticeably accelerate. It was the first time she was so proactive with a man, and she was a little nervous. "Baba, eat meat, eat meat." Tuan used her own chopsticks to take a piece of grilled filet mignon and put it in my bowl. Immediately, I raised my bowl to catch my daughter's steak. I tried a bite, and the aroma of the steak spread instantly. "Baba, is it delicious?" Tuan asked with her small head tilted adorably. I nodded vigorously and said conspiratorially, "Super delicious. The meat my dear daughter gives daddy tastes amazing." Tuan put down her chopsticks, happy and satisfied, turned around and grabbed her brother's little hand. Brother, Baba likes the meat that Tuan gives him." Lele's exquisite little mouth twitched slightly. Feigning maturity, he said, Tuan, don't eat while talking, don't sleep while talking." After saying that, he looked at the grilled filet mignon in front of him. Only one piece was left. It seemed he also liked eating this. Should I pick up this last piece to give it to? HMPH, no, I'm not adding more food for him. I caught all my son's little expressions and couldn't help but laugh. The little guy is stubborn but soft-hearted. With a little more training, he will listen to daddy. Yan Bingshu's gaze settled on my profile. She grabbed the asparagus in front of her and put it in my bowl, then quickly withdrew her chopsticks. Her eyes sparkled and her small face flushed quickly, as if water were overflowing from Golden Mountain. It was the first time she had put food in a man's bowl. This trick was taught to her by her best friend. Her friend also told her that when putting food, remember to say a few words of concern. But after putting the food for me, the sentence she had prepared long ago, something like, "Eating the steak alone is boring. These asparagus are well roasted and cut through the grease," got stuck directly in her throat. Furthermore, the little deer in her heart was tumbling. She was so nervous that her palms were sweating a little. I looked at the small, crunchy asparagus in my bowl, a little surprised. I didn't expect the billionaire CEO to personally put food for me. This treatment must be the lifelong dream of many men. And I achieved it so easily. As a man, my inner vanity was very satisfied. I smiled and also grabbed a piece of asparagus, putting it in Yan Bingshu's bowl. "A gift in exchange, you're a little thin, eat a bit more." Yan Bingshu looked at the vegetable that suddenly appeared in her bowl. She looked up and saw that I was already eating with my head down. In her heart, she was skipping like a little magpie that had eaten a candy. On the surface, however, she remained calm as ever, but Tuan, who was sitting next to her, could tell, and she also giggled. Mommy and Daddy have very good feelings. We happily ate lunch, enjoying the delicious food in the company of my daughter, my son, and the mother of my children. While eating, I took out my phone, thinking of something important. I quickly opened my phone and sent a message. "I want to order a 2-carat De Beers diamond ring. When can it be delivered? Please provide your address. It will be delivered within 2 hours to Zone 6, Interior." 2 hours? The efficiency is very high. A marriage proposal like this, of course, must be made by me, the father of the children. I browsed the internet and directly chose the most expensive De Beers diamond ring with a selling price of $5.88 million yuan. Today, I experienced the joy of swiping the card without blinking, haha. Tonight, I will give the mother of my children, Yan Bingshu, an unforgettable proposal night. After lunch, Tuan grabbed her round and full belly. Her small body sank into the sofa, her beautiful big eyes narrowing. The little treasure was sleepy. Lele was also out of energy at the side. A stomach full of food requires a large number of cells to digest, making the brain run out of oxygen and causing sleepiness. My phone rang. The ringtone instantly dispelled some of the two little treasures, sleepiness. Good thing, I'll pick it up downstairs in a moment. I hung up the phone and said to Yan Bingshu beside me, I'm full. I'm going down to work first. Yan Bingshu wanted to say something, but thinking about what her best friend said, her pink lips pursed slightly. Fine, she nodded gently. Tuan Tuan heard that Baba was leaving and instantly lost all sleepiness. She slid off the sofa and ran to hug my pant leg. Lele also woke up, his gaze fixed on me. Is he leaving again? How long will he be gone this time? Will they see each other again? He got off the sofa and stood by his mother, his small hands interlaced. Baba, don't go! The little milky voice carried a hint of coquetry. I looked down and saw that my daughter Tuan Tuan's big black and white eyes could shed golden tears at any moment. My hard man's heart melted instantly. My dear daughter. I gently stroked her soft and tender little face. Tuan Tuan is good, Daddy isn't leaving. Daddy is just going to work. It's just that Tuan Tuan doesn't want to be apart from Baba. Tuan Tuan will go with Baba to work, okay? Tuan Tuan deployed her little clingy charms, hugging my neck without letting go. I also felt reluctant to part with my daughter, but it was my first day of work. I couldn't take the kids with me, could I? Yan Bingshu realized my dilemma, approached and picked up Tuan Tuan. Tuan Tuan? Your daddy has to work. You can't bother him. Be good. Tuan Tuan made an aggrieved pout but nodded obediently in her mother's arms. Her eyes still looked at me without blinking. Baba, then you have to get off work early and come back. I nodded, then forced myself to quickly leave the office. Phew, my first day as a dad, I almost couldn't resist the offensive of the little cutie. Yan Bingshu hugged her daughter, her gaze following my figure until my back was completely blocked by the door. She turned around, sighed deeply, and took the two little ones back to the sofa. Tuan Tuan, Lele, Mommy is asking you, do you like Baba? Tuan Tuan nodded without hesitation, saying with her milky voice and loudly, Tuan Tuan likes him. Tuan Tuan likes Baba very much. Baba is super amazing. He defeated the bad guy, the mouse. So, Tuan Tuan, do you want to live with Baba? Yan Bingshu asked with sparkling eyes. Tuan Tuan nodded like a garlic chopping machine. Yes, yes, yes. Tuan Tuan wants to be with Baba, Mommy, and Geje brother forever. Tuan Tuan wants Baba to live in our house. Tuan Tuan wants to see Baba every day. Yan Bingshu's eyes sparkled even more. She turned to her son. Lele, what do you think of Baba? Do you want to live with Baba and Mommy? Lele, being questioned, seemed unprepared. His small eyes avoided the gaze, and after a while he said in a low voice, I listened to Mommy and my sister. Her son's words meant he didn't oppose it. It seems both my son and daughter like Su Chen. What a coincidence. She likes him a lot too. So Yan Bingshu, you have to conquer this man. You have to make his name appear in your and your baby's household register and have him become the head of the family. I went downstairs to pick up the diamond ring. I opened it with a glance and was immediately dazzled by the shine. A diamond ring larger than a pigeon egg. Feeling the waste of money is truly different. I put the diamond ring box in my pocket, then went upstairs and followed human resources to my workstation. I barely sat down when my phone buzzed twice. It was greetings from my roommates in the group chat. Brother Su, how did the interview at Extraordinary Group go? Brother Su, are you coming back for lunch? The brothers haven't eaten yet. Should we wait for your celebration banquet here? If Brother Su doesn't give a banquet, we'll go out to eat and drink. My 3 roommates and I have lived together for 3 or 4 years. Our brotherhood is good, and their questions are of a high standard. However, I think my roommates couldn't imagine my answer. I myself didn't expect everything that happened today. I'm already working at Extraordinary Group. And I have children. They are twins, a boy and a girl 3 years old. The mother of my children is the CEO of Extraordinary Group herself, Yan Bingshu. When Yan Bingshu saw me, she asked if I had brought my ID and household register, saying she wanted to take me to the civil registry to get married. It was too sudden, so I rejected her. The group chat remained silent for half a minute. Then, messages surged like a torrent. My God, Brother Su, you are too incredible. Not only did you become an official employee of the Extraordinary Group, but the beautiful CEO worth $1 trillion proposed to you. The Extraordinary Group is a giant valued at $1 trillion. Rumor has it that the head of the Extraordinary Group, Yan Bingshu, is not yet married, has a pair of super adorable twins, and has enough suitors to go around the world. And now it turns out that Brother Su not only received a marriage proposal from Yan Bingshu, but Yan Bingshu's adorable twins are your children. Seeing my roommates, messages of shock flooding the screen, I smiled and typed on the phone, "You three, calm down a bit." My roommates kept typing messages of shock. This situation lasted for $10 minutes before they gradually calmed down. Chen Zichang then expressed his confusion. "Brother Su, you rejected the sister-in-law's proposal. What do you plan to do? As a man, how can I let the mother of my children handle the matter of marriage? Of course, I, the man, must propose marriage first and then get married. She is the woman who gave me twins. I must give her a grand marriage proposal. She should have the same thing other women have." Zhang Yubing was full of admiration. "Brother Su, majestic and dominant. Brother Su, real man. Well done, Brother Su." Brother Su, on a day as good as today, when you successfully sorted out work and found your sister-in-law and your older nephew and niece, we have to hold a celebration banquet. Gay Yu sent a rogue face. "Forgive me, brothers. I have important plans tonight. We'll set the date for the celebration banquet later. Don't worry, this meal will definitely not be missed." After saying that, I sent 3 large red envelopes in the group, each worth $10,000 yuan. Each was divided into 3 random parts so the 3 could have fun competing for them. My God, Brother Su is incredible. First day of work and he sent $30,000 yuan in red envelopes. Brother Su really isn't an ordinary person. A low-key rich man. Brother Su, you hide very well. Thank you, Brother Su. I got $15,000. Brother Su is a god. Brother Su is majestic and dominant. Brother Su is incredible. After the lunch break, I received a message. It was a new friend request. I immediately recognized who it was because the name was Yan Bingshu. It wasn't long since we separated, and Yan Bingshu already missed me. I smiled and pressed accept friend request. In the CEO's office upstairs, Yan Bingshu was holding her phone, her palms slightly sweaty. The expression on her face, which was always cold, was a little nervous. Fortunately, there was no one else in the office at the time. If the employees downstairs saw the always cold CEO looking at her phone with such anxiety, their jaws would drop. Her nickname was her name. Her profile picture was also herself. Su Chen should know it's me, right? Will he accept my friend request? Or will he reject it, just as he rejected her marriage proposal? Thinking about this, Yan Bingshu couldn't help but frown slightly. Her heart beat inexplicably faster. Ding! The clear notification sound seemed amplified countless times, becoming a small drum beating in her heart. Yan Bingshu was startled and looked at her phone as if facing a great enemy. She took 2 deep breaths before looking down. Congratulations, you and Su Chen are now friends. Now you can start chatting. This time, Yan Bingshu lifted her pink lips quite happily. After adding me as a friend, Yan Bingshu was thinking about what to say in the first sentence. She typed the line and deleted it and typed it again. In the end, her hand slipped and she sent the message. However, there was a small mistake. She originally wanted to send, "Do you want us to go together tonight? I won't work overtime." But in her excitement, it became, "I won't work overtime tonight." The simple 6 words were a bit cold. Yan Bingshu was a little annoyed. She put her long white fingers on the screen, hesitating whether she should quickly retract it. But Su Chen had just added her as a friend, so he probably had the phone in his hand. If he saw it and then saw her retract it, how embarrassing. I smiled seeing this sentence. What does this mean? Is "I won't work overtime tonight" a reminder that I can ask her out tonight? As a man, I should be more proactive. I quickly typed the line, "So, shall we have dinner together tonight?" After writing it, I felt it wasn't enough. I had prepared a super surprise for tonight, and I couldn't give it away in advance. So I deleted it and sent something else back. Yan Bingshu waited nervously. Seeing my reply, she immediately looked down. "I won't work overtime tonight either." Yan Bingshu's little brain spun quickly. Thinking of the dominant CEO Falls for Me novels her best friend had drilled into her, she immediately replied, "Then, let's leave together after work." After sending it, she felt she was being too direct and blushed, adding a sentence, "Both Tuan Tuan and Lele said they wanted to see you." I couldn't help but laugh out loud seeing that sentence. Do Tuan Tuan and Lele want to see me? Or does Yan Bingshu want to see me? It seems that I, Su Moren, have captivated this beautiful big-time CEO. However, it turns out I have a huge surprise for her tonight. All right, after work, let's go together. After sending it, I smiled and added a sentence. I miss Tuan Tuan and Lele too. Yan Bingshu had already lifted the corners of her lips upon seeing the first sentence. When she saw the second, she blushed immediately and her eyes fluttered unnaturally. She felt I said it on purpose. But regardless, they would leave together after work. Yan Bingshu was very happy and quickly got to work. Every now and then, she would look up at the wall clock. This afternoon seemed to pass exceptionally slowly. Tuan Tuan and Lele, after getting enough sleep in the break room, came out dragging their little pillows. They walked barefoot on the short wool carpet, looking adorable. Yan Bingshu raised her head and asked her son and daughter, Tuan Tuan, Lele, shall we go with Daddy tonight, okay? Tuan Tuan's little eyes lit up. She clapped her hands. Yes, yes, Mommy, let's take Daddy home. I want to sleep with Daddy and Mommy. The little one's words were innocent, but Yan Bingshu suddenly blushed. She cleared her throat and whispered, Why so fast? Lele didn't speak, but while playing with his sister, he suddenly turned around and asked, Mommy, when do you get off work? After work, he should be able to see Su Chen, right? Yan Bingshu felt more anxious hearing her son's words. Is time passing too slowly this afternoon? I want to get off work fast. I want to take the two little ones and myself to dinner. Finally, she managed to wait until clock-out time. Yan Bingshui stood up immediately, took the backpacks of her son and daughter in one hand and shouted to Tuan Tuan and Lele, Tuan Tuan, Lele, let's go! Tuan Tuan, who was playing with building blocks, looked up with a puzzled expression. Why is Mommy so proactive today? Doesn't the special assistant aunt usually have to come in and remind her several times before she goes home? Tuan Tuan's little head spun. She said to her smart brother, Brother, Mommy must be in a hurry to find Baba. That's why she left so fast, hey. Lele pouted his little mouth, wanting to refute something, but seeing his mother's back, which was firm but a bit cheerful, he gave up. Yan Bingshu took out her phone and sent me a message. See you in the underground parking lot. Okay, heading down now. See you in a bit. I packed my things, put my hands in my pockets, and headed downstairs. On the way, I thought about the meeting place and then the luxury car the system gave me. I hadn't seen it yet. System, where is my Rolls Royce? The system reward is being stored. The host can extract the reward as needed and specify the storage location for the vehicle and keys. The system's service is very attentive. Help me place the car in the underground garage and indicate the location. The car key should be in my pocket. Understood, host. The car has been parked at level B1, B072 of the Extraordinary Group Underground Garage. The key is in your pocket, please check it. As soon as I arrived at the parking lot, I ran straight into Yan Bingshu. Tuan Tuan, like a little pink ball, ran toward me with the sound of the wind. Baba! The little one took a leap and jumped. I caught her easily, and Tuan Tuan was in my arms in the blink of an eye. The two of us cooperated effortlessly, as if we had practiced countless times. Is this the wonder of kinship? Yan Bingshu thought. Lele followed his mother, looked at me, and upon seeing me look back, immediately looked away. I smiled slightly at Yan Bingshu and said, Let's go. Yan Bingshu followed me, leading Lele by the hand to her own car. She was about to open the door when she suddenly saw another Rolls-Royce parked next to it. Special Assistant Zhang, who was behind Yan Bingshu, looked a bit puzzled. CEO Yan, this is the Rolls-Royce Phantom, the world-class customized high-end limited edition. Yan Bingshu's car was a custom Rolls-Royce with a purchase price of just over $110 million yuan. But this customized high-end Phantom in front of them was clearly more expensive and noble. Just as he finished speaking, the lights of the luxury car suddenly flashed twice, emitting an unlocking sound. Yan Bingshu and Special Assistant Zhang turned their heads at the same time to look at my hand, or more precisely, the car key in my hand. Su Chen, is this car yours? Yan Bingshu's beautiful eyes widened. Special Assistant Zhang was so shocked he could barely speak. He stuttered for a long time. Mr. Su, this car is Rolls-Royce Phantom, the world-class customized high-end limited edition, with a price of $170 million yuan, 1.7 small goals. There are a total of 3 in the world. One abroad, another in the garage of a certain tycoon in the Dragon Kingdom, and the other is actually in the Extraordinary Group's underground garage. Yan Bingshu was in direct shock. Special Assistant Zhang couldn't help but take a breath of cold air upon hearing the price. Mr. Su, your car is too luxurious. You drive a $170 million high-end limited edition, and you're so young, just graduated from college. When his CEO bought the $110 million luxury car, he was already speechless. Every time he drove it, he was terrified of scratching it. As it turned out, my car was even more luxurious. Incredible, it's truly incredible. Tuan didn't understand the topic of money, but she understood the atmosphere. Baba's car is definitely super amazing. She circled around me excitedly, her little face upturned, overflowing with excitement and pride. Daddy is the strongest. Lele looked at my car from behind, and his eyes also showed joy. The $3-year-old boy was already starting to love cars. My car is really super cool. Come on, let's go to dinner in my car. I opened the back door and discovered the system had thoughtfully placed 2 child seats inside. Great! Worthy of being the first-time dad check-in system. I put the children in the back seat. With great gallantry, I opened the passenger door for Yan Bingshu. Special Assistant Zhang, at the side, retreated silently and tactfully. The car left the underground garage, causing quite a stir along the way. Some people wanted to take out their phones to snap photos, but it was too late to press the shutter, as the luxury car had already sped away. Yan Bingshu lowered the window a bit after getting in, trying to get some fresh air to relieve the tension of being in such a small space with me for the first time. However, when she came to her senses, she realized the car had deviated from the road she expected and had stopped near the Central Plaza, the most luxurious part of the city center. This is a small park next to the plaza, right in front of the large LED screen. I parked the car and checked my phone. The De Beers staff were ready. I looked with satisfaction at the photos sent by the client. At the last minute, I temporarily changed the final content. They adjusted urgently and quickly sent an OK. Yan Bingshu got out of the car and looked at the slightly darkening sky around her. She asked confusedly, "Why did we come?" Before she could finish speaking, Tuan suddenly let out a cry of wonder. "Mommy, look! There are airplanes! Many little airplanes!" Yan Bingshu raised her head and saw a group of drones flying in the air. The blinking points of light formed a shape in the sky. YBX. Those were her initials, followed by a heart shape. After a brief flicker, the drones began to move again, forming a complex sentence in English. "Will you marry me?" Yan Bingshu opened her eyes in great surprise. At the same time, on the large screen that cost hundreds of thousands of yuan per second, this dazzling drone performance was being broadcast live. The people in the plaza were in an uproar. "My God, look! Look! Someone is proposing! What kind of drones are these? So beautiful and romantic. Quick, post it online." I personally witnessed such a romantic proposal. My God, is this the world of the rich? $400 drones for a proposal in the big plaza broadcast, live on the big screen. I wouldn't even dare to do this in my dreams. The rich stay with the rich, and we can only be witnesses. The feeling of participating is so strong. I was already ready to reach out my hand and say yes. But it's impossible. But this romantic proposal has already joined my bucket list. Do you think I was moved by the $400 drones? No. What moved me was the power to spend $2 million on a proposal. Is this dominant CEO love in real life? As the popularity grew, a beautiful diamond ring appeared in the air and at the same time appeared up close in front of Yan Bingshu. "Mother of my children, would you agree to wear this ring sent by the father of my children?" I asked Yan Bingshu with a gentle look. Tuan, to one side, had already covered her mouth in excitement. Her big eyes were full of joy. Her other hand was firmly gripping her brother, pinching him until Lele's arm hurt. "Fine, for everything he prepared for Mommy, I'll put up with it for now." Yan Bingshu held back her emotion, but her eyes couldn't help but get a little red. She looked at me, and her right hand rose slowly, almost trembling. As the ring was placed on her middle finger, Yan Bingshu realized something. I didn't say I loved her. Tonight's romantic marriage proposal and the huge ring on her hand were because of them. I am the father and she is the mother of Tuan and Lele. But what does it matter? I will conquer him. We will have a romance that begins with marriage and then love. I do. Come on, let's get married. Yan Bingshu grabbed me and amidst the applause of the drones, rushed toward the car. She was very excited, so this matter couldn't be postponed. The father of the children already proposed, so they would marry immediately. Right now. Dragged by her, I smiled helplessly and said, "Wait a moment, mother of my children. The civil registry is already closed." Yan Bingshu turned around, her eyes bright and a confident smile on the corner of her lips. "Don't worry. With me, the civil registry never closes. Baba, there's a superhero Ultraman there. I want to go take a photo with Ultraman. Baba, can you take a photo for Tuan Tuan? A little princess invited me, of course I wouldn't refuse. I picked up my daughter and walked toward the display window. Ding! Congratulations, host, for checking in next to Ultraman. Reward, entry-level mecha manufacturing techniques. Mecha manufacturing techniques. System, this is too generous. This isn't a watch or a luxury car. This is a real skill. Tuan Tuan didn't know what her father had acquired in a brief moment. She continued excitedly, pulling at me. Baba, look at Ultraman. Tuan Tuan likes Ultraman because he is super amazing and can become very, very big. Lele also forgot what he had pending with me upon seeing something he liked. Mommy will make a real Ultraman in the future, and I will help Mommy too. I will design a super amazing superhero, a combat mecha that is even more incredible than Ultraman. I looked at my son and said with approval, little Lele, not bad. You have clear and ambitious goals at such a young age. When Daddy was little, I also had similar goals like being a scientist or getting Ultraman's transformation key to become the great hero who saves the world. I felt proud for a moment and told my son, combat mechas are a simple thing for your father. Tuan Tuan looked at me happily, her large black and white eyes shining as if stars had fallen into them. Baba, can you make a big mecha? Lele also looked at me quite surprised. After a while, he pursed his mouth and said, HMPH, Mommy hasn't even done it. I don't believe it. I looked at my son. For a moment, I felt like picking up this little guy who pretended to be an adult and giving him a good lesson so he would know his father's authority. I said nothing. Tuan Tuan felt upset. She spread her arms like a little chick protecting its brood, shielded her dad behind her, and pouted, arguing with her brother. You have to believe in Baba. Baba is super amazing. He can chase away the bad guys and he can also make big mechas. Baba also has super expensive cars. Lele felt a bit embarrassed by his sister. The expression on his little face softened for a moment and he finally gave in. Mommy said he is the older brother and must pamper his sister and not fight with her. While talking with my son and daughter, a man in casual clothes entered the store door. He seemed to be heading straight for the shop. As soon as he entered, he started looking for people. The internet is flooded with the romantic proposal involving $400 drones. Kui Haoyu was bored at home watching videos and discovered that a dozen videos were about this. He immediately guessed that someone was proposing to his goddess, Yan Bingshu. At that moment, he rushed to the civil registry to stop it, but was told it was too late. As soon as he entered, he heard me say, combat mechas are a simple thing. Who is this? So arrogant. Then he looked closer. The two adorable little beauties beside me. Aren't they Tuan Tuan and Lele? This is the man who dared to propose to Yan Bingshu. Lele is indeed smarter than his sister. He knows who is bragging. This combat mecha is a very complicated thing. No one in the world has researched a finished product yet. Lele turned around and looked at Kui Haoyu, furrowing his little brow. Indeed, some things need to be compared. I felt that Lele had a cold attitude toward me. But now, seeing his expression of disgust toward Kui Haoyu, my heart felt much more relieved. Kui Haoyu received a slap from a $3-year-old and could barely take it. He clenched his fists several times before barely maintaining a smile on his face. He turned to look at me. Are you the one who proposed to Bingshu in the Central Plaza? Uncle Kui, please call my mommy Miss Yan or CEO Yan. My mommy doesn't know you well, Lele said, rolling his eyes. I laughed quietly, looked at Lele and winked at him. Son, well said. Lele immediately looked away upon seeing my eyes. This guy won't think I'm helping him, right? It's just that I don't want other people coveting mommy. It's exactly like that. He stood firmly by his mother's side. Kui Haoyu's mouth twitched. He looked at me and gnashed his teeth. Aside from being handsome, you look quite normal. His gaze was very hostile, with a hint of disdain. Baba, don't pay attention to this uncle. The special assistant aunt said he's not right in the head. He saw too much Ultraman when he was a kid. She pointed to her little head and looked at Kui Haoyu with some sympathy. I touched Tuan Tuan's little head and said quietly, Tuan Tuan, we can't say those things in front of the uncle. It's impolite. We'll say it in secret when we get home, okay? Kui Haoyu's face turned red. He was simply a mecha research enthusiast and loved mecha anime. If others didn't understand him, then they didn't understand. He was about to get angry when he suddenly realized that Tuan Tuan had called me Daddy. Had he already settled things with Yan Bingshu and even obtained the approval of Tuan Tuan and Lele? Kui Haoyu was in shock. At that moment, a bright light suddenly flashed in his eyes. He looked closer and discovered it was the light reflected by the diamonds on my watch. Isn't this the Patek Philippe worth nearly $20 million? Kui Haoyu was a true rich young man. Of course, he wouldn't mistake a fake for a genuine item. The watch on my wrist was real, with a price of nearly $20 million yuan. Can he really afford to wear it? Then, those drones and the romantic marriage proposal were made with real strength. Men have to speak with strength. Bragging has a price. You just said that combat mechas are a simple thing for you. How about we ask each other some questions about mechas? Whoever can't answer loses. How about it? You won't dare to compete, right? I said indifferently. Originally, I didn't want to pay attention to you, but you insist on looking for a lesson. Fine, ask. Just in time, I'll also explain mecha knowledge to my son and daughter. Kui Haoyu's mouth curled. I'll ask you the simplest question. What is the best material for the outer armor of a mecha? No one in the world has managed to build a complete mecha, so they are still in the research and development stage. Currently, the best material they have researched is titanium alloy, but it hasn't been announced to the public yet. I said calmly, currently it is best to use titanium alloy, which has super strong bulletproof capability and moderate weight, as armor material for mechas. Hearing this, Kui Haoyu froze. He actually knew. Damn, it must have been Yan Bingshu who told him. Wow, Baba is so amazing. You know this. Tuan Tuan clapped happily, seeing Kui Haoyu's expression, cheering for her dad. It's my turn to ask. Since you asked me a simple question, I'll also give you a simple question back. What is the best way to design the control cockpit of a mecha? Hearing my question, Kui Haoyu said confidently, of course it's to use mechanical operation methods, like using the joystick in an airplane cockpit to pilot the plane. This is indeed the simplest question. Any entry-level mecha student can answer it. Indeed, he knows nothing about mechas. Just as he prepared to ask his second question, I laughed lightly. It seems your understanding of mechas is still in the kindergarten stage. What do you mean? Kui Haoyu got angry. Do you mean you look down on my answer? How can I be wrong? This is clearly written in entry-level mecha books. My meaning is very clear. That kind of dumb operation you mentioned is fine for piloting a plane. But for operating a mecha, are you sure you're not joking? Kui Haoyu was so furious his hair stood up. Then what is the best method? Kui Haoyu sneered, returning the question to me. Use semi-transparent liquid crystal goggles to transmit the mecha's vision and control the direction of the mecha's head camera. Display various indicators and equipment status on the manually controlled 3D strategic map touch panel. The fire control weapon system is voice-controlled, A2, which can make the mecha quickly perform various actions we want it to do. Of course, the best method is a brainwave sensor helmet, which directly connects the brain's neurons to the mecha, so that the suitability of the whole person and the mecha reaches $100%. As soon as I said these words, the whole audience was in shock. Not only Kui Haoyu, but also Lele, and an old man sitting on a sofa in the corner. After the shock, the old man stood up excitedly, his gaze burning. He immediately used his phone to record what I had just said, fearing he would forget it. He was full of awe. This control cockpit design is simply perfect. He didn't expect that by coming today to visit his granddaughter, he would unexpectedly encounter such a talented young man. Later, I must ask my granddaughter to get this young man's contact info. Such talent must be recruited into the elite Academy of Sciences of the Dragon Kingdom. Lele also didn't expect that I wasn't bragging. I really knew a newer and better control cockpit design. Although he didn't understand very well, he felt it was incredible. It seems he really can build a big mecha. Tuan Tuan was a loyal fan of Baba. She clapped and cheered without understanding. Baba is too amazing. The plan Baba said is much better than the others. Baba will definitely build a big mecha. Kui Haoyu never expected me to propose such a control cockpit design. Even the old scientists at the Elite Academy of Sciences couldn't have come up with such a good design. At this moment, he wasn't furious about the humiliation. He only felt admiration in his heart. It's truly amazing. Although he pursued Yan Bingshu, he was also a mecha enthusiast. The words I said made him realize that I am super powerful in the field of mechas. He completely forgot that he wanted to keep competing with me, He threw out the questions in his heart, one after another, completely losing his previous arrogance. It was like a student who encounters a difficult problem and suddenly sees an omnipotent master, immediately wanting the master to solve all his problems. Kui Hao Yu, have you asked enough? Are you here to cause trouble, or do you want to use a challenge to extract trade secrets from Extraordinary Group's mecha research? Suddenly, a sharp voice was heard. Yan Bingsu came out at some point. She walked straight to my side, with a cold and dominant expression, like a heroic woman protecting her man. I ignored Kui Hao Yu's messy expression in the wind. How about we go to my house? As soon as I said that, Yan Bingsu raised her head sharply. There was a slight trace of embarrassment in her big, beautiful eyes. Seeing Yan Bingsu's expression, I immediately realized that getting married was a bit sudden, so the biggest problem was where we should live. Yan Bingsu thought about it and said, "How about we let the children decide?" I nodded and turned to ask Tuan Tuan and Lele. Tuan Tuan, Lele, do you want to go to Baba's house tonight or go back to Mommy's house? Tuan Tuan said without hesitation. Tuan Tuan wants to go to Baba's house and take Mommy and brother. Tuan Tuan has never been to Baba's house. Lele didn't speak, but his big eyes looked at me with a hint of curiosity and expectation. It seemed he also wanted to go to Daddy's house to take a look. Yan Bingsu immediately compromised upon seeing this. All right, then let's go to your house. I was in the job-seeking stage, so I had simply rented a 2-bedroom, 1-living-room apartment. It shouldn't be a problem for Yan Bingsu and the 2 children to stay there. The only problem was that I'm a single man living alone, and my house was a bit messy. I didn't know so many things would happen today before I left, so naturally, I didn't clean in advance. But this was the first time the mother of my children and the 2 little treasures were going to my house. I didn't want them to see trash flying everywhere. It's too late today, we'll eat out and then go home. I got the consent of the 3 and immediately sent a message to the cleaning service I used last time, asking them to hurry and clean the house. The lady was the concierge of my university dormitory and also worked as a part-time cleaner. She replied immediately after seeing the message. Little Sue, why are you in such a hurry to clean? Are you planning to bring your girlfriend home tonight? Auntie. I'll leave the house to you, we'll be back in an hour. Don't worry, Auntie will definitely clean it for you. I wish you a pleasant night, haha. I laughed for a bit seeing this message. Tonight is the first time I'm taking the mother of my children and my kids home. Of course, it will be very pleasant. I rented my apartment near the university. I know this area very well. Since we were already here, I took the initiative to choose a barbecue place with very good flavor and drove there. Seeing the bustling little night market, Yan Bingsu seemed stunned for a moment. Tuan Tuan looked out the car window with curiosity. As she spoke, she left a small cloud of white mist on the window. Baba, where are we? This is the most famous snack street in the university city. There are so many things here. There is a barbecue stall with amazing flavor. Baba will take you to eat, okay? Barbecue street stall. Yan Bingsu swallowed. It wasn't out of greed, but because she had never been to such a lively place. Tuan Tuan didn't seem to care what she was going to eat. Anyway, she was happy as long as she was with Baba. Yes, let's eat barbecue. Lele slightly furrowed his little brow, reminding me, barbecue is unhealthy. It's not good for the body, and there are too many people here. The hygiene of cooking on the street cannot be guaranteed at all. The little one was speaking very seriously, looking like a little adult. Although he was only $3 years old, he had read many books and knew a lot. I extended my arm, originally wanting to touch my son's head, but the little one avoided it. Lele, you are a strong man. How can your stomach be so fragile? Good food can be made in restaurants and also at street stalls. Chefs do both. I think barbecue should be judged by its taste, not by the environment and location. Don't worry. The barbecue Baba is taking you to is definitely safe, hygienic, and tastes super good. I guarantee you'll want to eat it a second time after trying it once. Lele was still frowning, looking at the crowded snack street. His eyes were full of fear. Yan Bingsu looked at my profile, as if she had suddenly made a decision. She clenched her little fist at her side. Fine, then let's go eat barbecue. I was surprised to see her so determined. A CEO like Yan Bingsu must never have eaten at a street stall like this. However, I trust my taste. The barbecue stall I chose is definitely not inferior to the tea at a high-end restaurant. Trust me, the flavor here definitely won't disappoint you. We got out of the car together. Although Lele was still a bit resistant, his mother had already gone, so he could only follow. The bustling stall, the hot barbecue oven, the large skewers of roasted meat dripped with sizzling oil and fragrant barbecue marinade. The shop was almost full, both inside and out. I found a quieter place for us to sit. I used a tissue to wipe the table and stools before asking Yan Bingshu, Tuan, and Lele to sit down. This attentive and considerate gesture made the corners of Yan Bingshu's lips curl slightly. Although the shop was full of people, the master's speed was very fast. The food also arrived quickly. 3 large plates of fragrant barbecue with meat and vegetables, seafood and fish were available. Tuan couldn't contain herself anymore and lunged forward. Seeing her take a super large meat skewer, I feared she would hurt herself with the stick and hurriedly took it away. Tuan, Baba will put it in a bowl for you to eat. Yes, thank you, Baba. Tuan was impatient to try the street barbecue Baba was talking about. I smiled at my daughter with tenderness and affection, then put the meat in the bowl and moved it closer to Tuan. Tuan, wait a bit before eating. Be careful not to burn yourself. Lele didn't move. Yan Bingsu also seemed to be in the middle of a, quote, psychological construction, mentally preparing herself. I took a fragrant lamb skewer, turned and said to Yan Bingshu, "Try this. The flavor is really good." Yan Bingshu was stunned for a moment. Although the meat skewer in my hand looked very good, she hesitated a bit, thinking it was from a street barbecue stall, but my gaze was very sincere. Yan Bingshu opened her small mouth and gently tasted the lamb skewer. The flavor of the barbecue lingered on her taste buds. The outer layer was slightly crispy on the outside and tender and juicy on the inside. The flavor was really good! Yan Bingshu's eyes brightened. Seeing this, I smiled smugly. I didn't lie to you, right? It doesn't matter that this shop is on the snack street. Its flavor is even better than the big hotels outside. It's quite good. A master like this is a bit wasted in this place? Yan Bingshu looked at the barbecue master over there, then turned around and said calmly. Now only Lele was left without eating. Mommy already tried it, and Mommy said the flavor was good. Should I try it or not? The little one stared fixedly at the barbecue in front of him, his eyes a bit stuck. His small mouth was slightly open, and a trace of crystal-clear saliva was about to drop from the corner of his lips. I thought my son looked very funny, wanting to eat but unable to give up his pride. Why does a strong man have to be like this? I raised my hand and put the meat skewer I had into my son's mouth. Lele was taken by surprise, and his slightly open mouth was filled with barbecue. Remembering the words of disgust he said a moment ago, he hesitated for a moment. Tuan at that moment chewed a mouthful of meat, deliberately showing her little teeth in front of her brother. "Brother, it's super delicious. Try it fast." She pulled on the wooden skewer I had placed, and all the meat slid into Lele's mouth. Seeing Lele's cheeks full, Tuan immediately smiled, with her eyes curved like crescent moons. Seeing this, I pushed the plate toward the 3 of them. "Eat more. I ordered a lot. After this one, there are 2 more plates." Yan Bingxi nodded, the corners of her mouth lifting unconsciously. Just then, her phone rang. The message was from Gu Yuxin. Gu Yuxin. "Bunny Jouer, what are you doing? Where did you celebrate after registering? You don't pay attention to me anymore, sniff." Yan Bingxiu had left the civil registry and hadn't told her much. Too many wonderful and surprising things happened tonight. She herself hadn't recovered from this big surprise. Seeing Gu Yuxin sending her a message asking again, Yan Bingxiu simply took a photo. In the photo were the delicious barbecue skewers on the table. In the corner, my hand with well-defined bones could also be seen. Gu Yuxin. Barbecue, and it's a street stall table. Bunny Jouer, you really went to eat street stall barbecue for Su Chen. Is this the power of love? Yan Bingxiu. The flavor here is good. It's on the snack street near Su Chen's university. Next time, I'll bring you. Before, I asked you to accompany me to eat in a small, dirty restaurant in the alley, and you wouldn't. Gu Yuxin. With just one word from Su Chen, you go with him to a street stall on the snack street. Darling, where did your principals go? Yan Bingxiu. I was moved by his confident and sincere look, and the flavor here is really good. Su Chen has very good taste. Gu Yuxin. Bunny, I like that you're so direct and cool. Gu Yuxin, on the other end of the phone, almost fainted on the spot. But what can be done? You have to pamper the best friend you chose. We ate barbecue for almost 2 hours. I paid the bill and took Yan Bingxiu and the 2 children back to the apartment complex. It was night. The complex where I rented was a bit old, and many elderly people lived there. The grandpas and grandmas liked to sit in the exercise area at the entrance of the complex, fanning themselves and chatting at night. Suddenly, they saw a new car enter. The grandpas and grandmas started to discuss. Who bought a new car? This car looks very good. Old lie, don't you know about cars? This is a luxury car. The cheapest Rolls-Royce costs more than $6 million. This car clearly isn't the most common one. Maybe it costs tens of millions. Tens of millions? A car worth tens of millions driving into our old complex? Old son, I think you're senile. Hey, you don't believe me? Then let's go take a look. My son told me a lot about cars before. I'm sure this is a Rolls-Royce. You two old men, stop arguing. Let's follow and see which relative this good car belongs to. Everyone followed the Rolls-Royce with curiosity. The car stopped in the parking space in front of the building. I got out of the car. At that moment, Grandma Lynn, my neighbor, saw me and shouted in surprise, "Little Sue!" I had been living here for more than a month. Grandma Lynn lived across from me. We saw each other often, and the grandma was very enthusiastic and often gave me fruit. I smiled at the person coming. "Grandma Lynn, out for some air?" "Yes, it's you, Little Sue. This car is..." Grandma Lynn was full of curiosity. "Grandma, this car is new. Also, I think this parking space belongs to my apartment, right? I saw that no one was parked, so I parked directly." Yes, Grandma Lynn said excitedly. "This is the parking space for your apartment. Little Sue, I didn't expect that right after graduating from college, you'd buy a car. What car is this?" Old son said it's called Rolls something, and that it's very expensive. "It's a Rolls-Royce. I bought it for $170 million yuan. I said this with a tone, as if I were talking about cabbage at 2 yuan a pound. The grandpas and grandmas behind were so shocked they doubted if they had heard correctly. $170 million for a car? $170 million could buy their entire old complex without problems, right? Little Sue, you are really amazing. With such an expensive car, I feel our complex has instantly gone up in value. While talking, I went to the passenger seat and opened the door, letting Yan Bingsu, who was blocked by Grandma Lin, get out. Then I took Tuan Tuan and Lele out of the back seat. The grandpas and grandmas looked at the three of them, full of questions. "Little Sue, this beautiful young lady and the two adorable children are..." "Grandma, this is my wife, Yan Bingshu. And these two are my son and daughter, the twins Lele and Tuan Tuan." The grandpas and grandmas were in shock. "Little Sue, you got married? What a beautiful wife! Little Sue, you are very lucky." Hearing these words, I looked at Yan Bingshu beside me, who was a bit shy, with pursed lips. The corners of my mouth curled involuntarily, revealing a big smile. "Grandpas and grandmas, it's already late. The two children are tired. I'll take them upstairs first. Tomorrow I'll buy candy to share with everyone." After saying that, I hugged Tuan Tuan with one hand and took Yan Bingshu's hand with the other. Lele followed his mother, and the family of four went up the stairs. My wife and children finally arrived at my place of residence. Yan Bingshu entered the door and looked inside. The house doesn't look so bad, she thought. Although the area of the house was not large, the interior decoration was quite clean, and the house was impeccably tidy. There was a small stuffed toy on the sofa that immediately caught Tuan Tuan's attention. The little girl ran over, hugging the little pink rabbit, unable to let go. "Baba, bunny, Tuan Tuan likes the pink bunny best." "Really?" Baba won it last time catching dolls with his roommates. "If Tuan Tuan likes it, it's for Tuan Tuan," I said. Yan Bingshu saw that the bunny's tag was still on, with no price. It seemed they took it directly from the claw machine and hadn't touched it. But does he also go to claw machines? If he went with his roommates, they must all be boys, right? If he had been with a girl, he would have given the bunny to her. Yes, they were definitely boys. "Mother of my children, this little house of mine is not as large as yours. It only has 2 rooms, a master bedroom with a double bed and a guest room with a bunk bed. It should be enough for you to live in, but how should we sleep?" Yan Bingshu looked at the 2 bedrooms, blinking her beautiful eyes. There was a trace of a blush on her cold and glamorous face. Today was her first day of marriage with me. She wanted to sleep in the master bedroom. Yan Bingshu knew very well that a big reason why I proposed and we got married was because of Tuan Tuan and Lele. But she didn't just need a name on a family register. She needed them to become a real family. She wanted me to fall in love with her, so she had to take every opportunity to cultivate a good relationship. As Mrs. Gu said, she had to infiltrate my life little by little, becoming my habit and my preference. But I can't suggest it directly, right? After all, I am a woman. Yan Bingshu looked at me with expectation, hoping that I would also think of this when assigning the sleeping places. Unfortunately, I didn't look at Yan Bingshu at that moment and said to myself, "How about this, mother of my children? You and Tuan Tuan sleep in the master bedroom. Lele and I will sleep in the guest room." Then I turned to Lele and said, "Lele, is it okay for you to sleep on the bottom and me to sleep on top?" Lele was about to answer when Yan Bingshu, who was behind me, shook her head gently at him. Lele pursed his lips and pouted, "No, I don't want to sleep with you. I want to sleep with my sister." I said bluntly, "Little Lele, how old are you already? Do you still want to sleep with your sister?" "I will sleep on top and my sister will sleep on the bottom," Lele said righteously. "I don't want to." "Fine, little guy. You use my words against me, right? Then you two sleep in the guest room. I will sleep in the master bedroom with your mother. There are 2 bathrooms in the house. There are 4 of us. Who wants to shower first? First come, first served," I asked. Tuan Tuan wanted to shower and immediately ran over, bouncing into my arms like a little cannonball. She raised her head, showing a sweet and adorable smile. As for little Lele, who was cold, he perfectly inherited his mother's coldness at work. He took his clean clothes out of his little backpack and walked toward the outside bathroom on his own. Hugging my daughter, I pointed to the little guy's back and asked, "Can Lele and Tuan Tuan shower by themselves?" Yan Bingshu nodded. "Yes, usually they shower by themselves at home. Tuan Tuan only bathes with me when it's a bubble bath." I said happily, "Our 2 little treasures are really smart. They can do it by themselves at $3 years old. Tuan Tuan, Daddy will take you to the master bedroom bathroom. Call Daddy or Mommy if you need anything, okay?" This was the first time they had come to my house. Many things were different. I feared they wouldn't be used to it. I stayed in the living room, and Yan Bingshu waited in the bedroom, ready to deal with any emergency. Yan Bingshu looked out, then gently closed the bedroom door. After locking it, she walked happily around the room. There was a double bed $2 meters wide in the center of the room. The duvet was perfectly folded. 2 pillows were placed at the headboard. One was a bit wrinkled, and the other looked new. It seems he normally sleeps alone here. Yan Bingshu couldn't help but feel a bit happy. She leaned in and looked at the slightly wrinkled pillow. This must be the pillow he uses for sleeping. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath. A faint smell of shampoo, the same smell as my hair. Next to the bed, near the window, was a desk. My university books were placed on top. Yan Bingshu flipped through them. There were also notes I had taken. My handwriting was very beautiful, vigorous, and strong. Seeing it made one think of my hands, long and strong, with clear blue veins on the back. They were very powerful hands. Yan Bingshu bit her lip. Her beautiful eyes moved slightly. "Should I take a look at his closet? It's no problem, right?" She wanted to know my preferences to have a reference for future gifts. Her eyes brightened, and she was already standing in front of the closet. Upon opening it, the clothes were hung neatly. There wasn't a large quantity, but every garment was clean and well organized, looking very comfortable. It seems he prefers a casual style. The formal suit he was wearing today must be for the interview. It seems the company's dress code will have to be adjusted. Extraordinary Group is not a sales company. There is no need to wear formal suits every day. Normal casual clothes are very good, as long as they aren't strange clothes. The 2 little ones showered by themselves. I took the hairdryer and went to the living room to dry Tuan Tuan's hair. The girl's hair was fine and soft, but abundant. I felt happier and happier looking at my daughter. My movements were very gentle. Tuan Tuan really enjoyed Baba drying her hair. She played with the pink bunny in her hands and every now and then looked back and smiled at me. "Done, Tuan Tuan. Your hair is dry." "Thank you, Baba." Tuan Tuan turned around and gave me a big kiss on the cheek, making a loud, cheeky noise. "You're welcome. It's what Baba should do. Baba will dry your hair often in the future." Tuan Tuan nodded vigorously. "Good. Baba will dry Tuan Tuan's hair in the future." "Tuan Tuan likes Daddy drying her hair," she said happily, sitting obediently beside me. I was also happy in my heart. My daughter is an attentive little padded vest. She is adorable. No wonder so many men want daughters. Who could resist such a cute and tender little girl? I thought of my son and looked up. Lele's hair was wet and dripping. The little guy didn't care. "Lele, come. Baba will also dry your hair." Lele shook his head elegantly. "No need. My hair will dry soon." Before the little one finished speaking, I had already held him. The hot air from the dryer was at level 1. It wasn't too hot. The wind had a bit of temperature, making it feel soft. It was comfortable blowing on the hair and sometimes brushing the cheek. Layli's small mouth slowly pursed. It seems quite comfortable. I settled the two little ones. After Tuan said goodnight, I turned off the light in the children's room and then took Yan Bingshu to my room. When Yan Bingshu came out of the shower, I was already lying in bed. Seeing Yan Bingshu come out, I patted the spot beside me. Come and lie down, it's time to sleep. Yan Bingshu walked slowly, went around to the other side of the bed, and lay down. I turned off the light, and the room instantly went dark, but slowly vision became clear again. A large round moon was outside the window. The soft moonlight fell through the window into the room, covering everything with a layer of soft moonlight. Yan Bingshu and I were lying on our backs, not touching. Both had our eyes open. Clearly, neither of us was asleep. With so many big things happening today, no one could sleep. My heart was still excited. In one day, I got a wife, kids, a luxury car, divine skills, and an incredible system. My life just took a sudden turn and skyrocketed. Yan Bingshu struggled to keep her eyes open, looking at the unfamiliar ceiling, feeling her heart rate slightly accelerated. She barely met me, and we are already married, and even living in my house. Everything happened too fast, taking her by surprise. Love for the rest of my life. I turned over, and my arm accidentally landed on Yan Bingshu's shoulder. The two who weren't asleep were startled. Damn, I forgot there was one more person beside me today. How could I turn over so carelessly as usual? This sudden physical contact made Yan Bingshu snap her eyes open. Her breath stopped for an instant, but her heart was beating like a frantic drum. "You're still not asleep," I said, quietly withdrawing my arm. Yan Bingshu replied. "What's wrong? Is it that you can't sleep because you're in a new place?" I turned over shamelessly to look at her. Yan Bingshu's face flushed instantly, but fortunately, the darkness of the night hid it a bit. "No, it's just that I'm a little hungry." "You're hungry? Do you want to go down and get something to eat?" I touched my stomach. Better not to talk about it. If I do, I'll get hungry too. Come on, let's go down and eat. Before leaving, I said I'd go take a look at the two little ones in the room next door. Under the warm wall light, the two little ones were sleeping soundly. At $12 at night is when the food stalls are most lively. What do you want to eat? There's barbecue, fried rice, fried noodles, various noodle soups, dumplings, and oden. Anything is fine with me. What do you want to eat? Yan Bingshu looked at me with curiosity. She really didn't know which of those things could actually be eaten. I looked at the bustling barbecue over there, rubbed my nose, and said, "Let's eat chicken noodle soup." We had barbecue for dinner, so for a late-night snack, let's eat something nutritious. Upon arriving at the stall, I turned and asked Yan Bingshu, "Green onion? Cilantro? Is there anything you don't eat?" Yan Bingshu shook her head. "I don't eat those." "Ma'am, please bring us 2 bowls of chicken noodle soup. Don't put green onion or cilantro in one bowl, okay?" The owner smiled brightly. "Understood, young man. It's different when you bring your girlfriend to eat at night. Chicken noodle soup is good for your health at night. You have such a beautiful girlfriend. You have to take good care of her." I laughed. "Of course. I have to take care of my own wife." Yan Bingshu was slightly startled, turned to look at my profile, and a trace of sweetness rose in her heart. He openly admitted our relationship and said he would take care of me. Both of us packed the noodles and returned home. We sat at the coffee table and ate. The rich aroma of chicken soup filled the house. Yan Bingshu's long hair seemed a bit inconvenient. I saw her holding it back with one hand, the whole time in an awkward position. I thought about it, got up, and grabbed a large plastic clip from the shelf, the kind used to hold bed sheets while hanging them to dry. "I only have this at home. Could you make do?" Yan Bingshu didn't realize what I was going to do. Suddenly, I approached from behind her, gathered all her long hair at the back of her head, and fastened it with a large clip. Her entire beautiful mane was gathered neatly. The effect wasn't bad. Yan Bingshu touched her hair with her hand, and a wonderful, unprecedented feeling surged in her heart. The corners of her lips curled slightly. "Thank you." That night, Yan Bingshu slept exceptionally well. Who knows if it was because she ate a delicious late-night dinner or for some other reason. As soon as the mother and children moved in with me, my mother called me the next day. "Son, are you up yet? Didn't you go to the interview at the extraordinary group yesterday? How did it go?" I answered, dazed with my eyes closed. My hand moved a bit, and the camera direction suddenly turned to the side. Although it was only a flash, my mother saw it immediately. There was a long-haired girl lying next to her son. My mother was stunned for a moment and immediately looked at me with an expression of pleasant surprise. She even cleared her throat to remind me. Cough, cough. Son, last night. I woke up suddenly, remembering what happened yesterday. Yan Bingshu was lying next to me. My hand trembled, and I wanted to hang up the video call, but as I turned, I discovered that Yan Bingshu had woken up at some point. She was looking at me from her side with her beautiful eyes full of curiosity. My movement stopped. Then I switched to the rear camera, pointing at the ceiling. Mom, your son is already an adult. Could you choose another time to call next time? Yan Bingshu was completely awake by then. Hearing that it was my mother on the other side of the video, she got nervous. She was going to fix her hair and greet her auntie, but she didn't expect to hear me say those words the next second. Does he not want his mother to know about my existence? But we are already married. Could it be that he still doesn't accept me? Yan Bingshu pursed her rosy lips and her eyes lowered slightly. My mother laughed, hearing her son's words. Yes, yes, yes. Mom called at an inopportune time, haha. Son, Mom won't bother you anymore. Goodbye, son. My mother hung up the phone. I couldn't help but smile. It seems my mother must have seen something just now. Otherwise, she wouldn't have hung up so hastily. But I really didn't expect my mother to make a video call so early. I still hadn't thought about how to tell my mother that I'd gotten married and had 2 children. After hanging up the phone, my mother said to my father joyfully, "Old Sue, I told you I heard the magpies singing this morning. It's definitely something great." I was right. My father was practicing calligraphy. He asked casually, "What great thing? Did your son pass the interview?" "Oh, I forgot to ask that." My mother tapped her head with regret. My father looked at her helplessly and laughed. "You video called to ask him about the interview, didn't you? But didn't I discover something even greater? Hee. I just video called and saw a long-haired beauty lying next to our son." My father's hand trembled, leaving a large ink blot on the rice paper. "What? Does our Chen already have a partner?" My mother laughed smugly. "They already live together. They must have been together for a while. What a good boy. He even hid it from us. Did you see the girl?" My father put down his brush and asked eagerly. "No." Her son was probably dazed and didn't realize someone was next to him. The camera moved for a moment. I couldn't see clearly what the girl looked like. I only saw she had long hair and very white skin. She looked good. Our son was probably a little embarrassed. He immediately cut the camera and told me he's an adult now, and it's not convenient to call so early. I think it's because he has a daughter-in-law by his side. My father rubbed his hands excitedly. Our son just graduated from college. It's about time he found a partner. Maybe we can have grandchildren soon. Haha, haha, old man. You're dreaming even bigger than I am. My mother laughed at my father, but she herself couldn't help but smile from ear to ear. I was already completely awake. I scratched my messy hair and turned to look at Yan Bingshu. "Did I wake you up?" My mother is older and gets up very early every day. She often video calls early in the morning. I was dazed and forgot you were here. Yan Bingshu shook her head, tracing a fleeting smile on her lips. "It's fine." She thought about it and suddenly raised her head, looking at me with a serious expression. "Su Chen, we are already married. I think I should also visit your uncle and auntie, shouldn't I?" I caught the small emotion that had just flashed through her, and a sudden idea popped into my mind. So, did Yan Bingshu think I was hiding her existence from my mother on purpose? "This little one is very sensitive." I smiled and apologized openly. "Of course you have to meet them, but we can't meet like what just happened. When we go, it will be as the mother of my children. We will take Tuan Tuan and Lele, and you will go well dressed. We'll bring gifts and go home together to see them." After saying that, I got up to brush my teeth. I thought about taking Yan Bingshu, Tuan Tuan, and Lele home. My parents would definitely be shocked. With my mother's character, she'd probably get so excited she wouldn't know what to do on the spot. Of course, I had to witness such a beautiful scene with my own eyes. When Yan Bingshu came out of the bathroom, Tuan Tuan, Lele, and I were already sitting in the living room. I ordered breakfast delivery: soy milk, youtiao, fried dough strips, small wontons in chicken soup baozi, and lean meat congee with vegetables. They were small portions, but they filled the entire table. "Good morning, Mommy. Baba bought us so much breakfast. Soup baozi, Mommy's favorite. Baba really loves Mommy." Seeing this scene early in the morning was refreshing. The 2 little ones were sitting opposite, and Yan Bingshu sat next to me. I pushed the soup baozi in front of her. I thought about it. My parents live on the outskirts of Zhonghai. it will take 3 or 4 hours by car to get there. We both have to go to work now, and the 2 children have to go to kindergarten. The timing isn't right. Let's wait until I finish my college graduation formalities. Then we'll go back. We can also bring my parents to attend my graduation ceremony. What do you think? Yan Bingshu nodded. Fine, whatever you say. She was absorbed in the tone I had just used to speak. The two of them, consulting each other like this, really looked like an ordinary couple. Eat more. I bought a lot. If we don't finish, it will go to waste. I pointed to the breakfast on the table. Yan Bingshu nodded and pushed the soup baozi in front of her toward the middle, between her and me. You eat too! Tuan Tuan drank chicken soup and ate small wontons, listening to her parents' conversation. She covered her mouth and laughed softly. Hee hee, Baba and Mommy get along very well, she asked with her happy little face. Baba, are you going to take us to see the grandparents? Actually, Lele had already understood, but the first part of what I said had left him a little unsure. When the second part came out, Lele wanted to ask, but thinking about his current relationship with me, he held back. Now that his sister asked, he stopped moving and eating breakfast, straining his ears in expectation of the answer. I smiled and said, yes. When Daddy finishes his business, I will take Mommy, Tuan Tuan, and Lele to the grandparents' house. The grandparents will definitely love Tuan Tuan and Lele very much. Yes, yes! Tuan Tuan will also love the grandparents very much. Tuan Tuan is very happy. Baba has to hurry. He has to take Mommy, brother, and Tuan Tuan home soon. Tuan Tuan will buy gifts for the grandparents. I'll buy a super delicious cake for the grandparents to eat. Little Tuan Tuan, despite her young age, was very filial in her thoughts. Lele's little body, originally stiff, suddenly relaxed. He lowered his head, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth hidden in the bowl. What a joy to see the grandparents. I captured all the emotions of my son and daughter, and a feeling of pride as a father and head of the household surged spontaneously in my heart. This feeling is great. Halfway through breakfast, I received a call from Gayu, my roommate. Brother Su, I hope I'm not bothering you. Tonight there's a farewell dinner for our class. Don't forget to come. Ha, forget it. We'll talk about it when you come. We guys will be waiting for you. Yes, I remember. See you tonight. I hung up the phone and continued breakfast. At the Dragon Academy of Sciences, the old man was increasingly confused. Xiao Shu, are you sure there is no problem with this information? Yes, Vice President. This information and his personal resume were transferred from his university. There shouldn't be any problem. The old man took a breath of cold air. This isn't right. How is it possible for an automotive design student from a third-tier university to have so much research on mechs? We have to bring this person, Xiao Shu, into the Dragon Academy of Sciences. The less that can be found in the information, the more it indicates he keeps a low profile. Xiao Shu was shocked. What kind of talent is this for the vice president to value him so much? The vice president was the pioneer and current leader in the field of mech research in the Dragon Kingdom. If he could be impressed, this senior student's skills must not be small. Just as we got downstairs, Special Assistant Zhang was already waiting by the car. Mr. Su, CEO Yan, good morning. CEO Yan, the Shengxi boss, is going to discuss the $1.20 billion project in the southwest region. We must leave now. Yan Bingshu nodded. She turned to look at me. Su Chen, I have to leave first. Can you take the kids to daycare? I'll let Special Assistant Zhang stay. I waved my hand. No need, no problem. Taking my son and daughter to school is a father's duty. Trust me. Fine, then call me if you have any problems. I'll send the daycare address to your phone later. Yan Bingshu left, looking back repeatedly. It took her a long time to walk a few meters. Special Assistant Zhang couldn't help but laugh, secretly seeing this. The CEO and Mr. Su have an excellent relationship. They really can't stand to be apart for a moment. As soon as Yan Bingshu left, Lele immediately became restless. He wasn't used to being alone with me, even though Tuan Tuan was also there. But his sister was completely like me. First I put my daughter in the rear safety seat, and then I went to pick up my son. Lele shrank away, pouting. I can do it myself. I laughed and didn't force it. Fine, then do it yourself. This son still doesn't give up, right? Lele climbed into the car, wiggling his little bottom, and sat in the safety seat on his own. However, he had a small problem fastening the seatbelt. His little arms and legs couldn't reach it. I stood at the car door, watching him quietly. I knew he couldn't do it, but I didn't offer to help. I just stood there, smiling brightly. Lele pulled the belt for a long time, but finally couldn't reach it. He looked up and saw my smiling face, which annoyed him even more. He threw the seatbelt down in frustration. I don't want it. I'm already an adult. I don't need a safety seat. I want to sit in the passenger seat. The little guy was about to jump out while talking. I held him by the shoulder. Children can't sit in the passenger seat. Lele isn't qualified. Lele clenched his small fists in rage. His adorable cheeks were puffed out like a small, inflated leather ball. How adorable. I laughed out loud twice. I'm just joking with you. Sit properly. We have to go. It's the first day Daddy's taking you to school. I can't let you be late. I, a surprise father, am taking my 2 babies to daycare for the first time today. Baba's taking us to daycare. How happy. Later, let Baba come inside with us. Lele was a little startled. He remembered something and nodded slightly. They spoke very softly, but I could hear them clearly. I thought my son wouldn't agree. Outside the daycare, the gate was full of parents. That car is a Rolls Royce, right? I remember Tuan and Lele's mom also drives a Rolls Royce, but not as luxurious as this one. Teacher Fan, are these new kids? What class are they in? We should get to know these rich parents well. Teacher Fan shook her head confused. No, there are no new kids in the daycare. Everyone looked on curiously and saw a tall, handsome young guy get out of the driver's seat. Wow, how handsome! Why is there such a handsome man at the daycare gate? My God, this is intentional. I had already locked the car. I took Tuan's hand with one hand and extended the other toward Lele. Lele froze for a moment and, surprisingly, let me take his hand obediently. The sun came out from the west. Why is my son so obedient all of a sudden? Tuan, Lele, good morning. Teacher Fan greeted the 2 children and then looked at me. Hello, Hello, you are Teacher Fan, right? The children's mom has told me about you. I am Su Chen, Tuan and Lele's dad. There was a chorus of muffled gasps in the private chat group. The surrounding parents and Teacher Fan looked at me in shock. You are Tuan and Lele's dad? Tuan said happily. Teacher, this is my Baba. Lele also spoke, something rare. Teacher, he is my and my sister's biological dad. Hello, Mr. Su. My God. It turns out our Tuan and Lele's dad is so handsome. No wonder our Tuan and Lele are so adorable. Lele looks a lot like our Mr. Su. He's been a handsome boy since he was little. Mr. Su, your reproductive capacity is incredible. Everyone in the daycare envies Tuan and Lele, such adorable twins. Mr. Su, come drop off Tuan and Lele more often in the future. That way, us other parents can feast our eyes too, haha. Mr. Su is rich and handsome. Have you joined our parents group? We could add you to our WeChat group. Tuan, hearing this, immediately extended her little hand to stop me. She put on an adorable face, but her words were distant. Mommy is already in the parents group. Baba and Mommy are together all the time, so Baba doesn't need to join the group. Baba and Mommy have a super good relationship. After dropping off the 2 little ones at daycare, I returned to the company. At that moment, I received a message on my phone. Are you busy? Come to my office. The corners of my mouth curled slightly. This little one really can't be without me even for a moment. She just got back from the meeting and immediately calls me to see her. I straightened my clothes and was about to get up to leave. The manager, who had been watching me for a long time, suddenly approached. He slapped the table. Su Chen, go photocopy this document for me. I looked down. It was a company document. Yesterday, I just happened to have a copy on my desk, so I took it and handed it to the manager. The manager, in his $30 Singapore dollars and slightly chubby, was immediately annoyed. He had been watching me all morning. This kid came from nowhere without going through his interview. Judging by the information, he's just a simple graduate from a 3rd-tier university. Since when did the Extraordinary Group's design department become a market that accepts anyone? Besides, he has such a handsome face that could cause havoc. Since he arrived at the office yesterday, the female colleagues have already put on makeup and dressed up to compete, which is clearly for him. As a $30-year-old golden bachelor, the female colleagues used to ignore him. How does that leave his prestige as a manager? That's why he took the opportunity to create difficulties. Su Chen, do you think you are very opportunistic? I asked you to make a photocopy, and you give me the one on your desk directly. I'm telling you, all new employees entering the group have a $3 month trial period. Whether you stay at the end is decided by me, your manager. Anyone with eyes could see he was making things difficult for this new employee. The female colleagues looked at me with concern. He really had the last word in this office. I was a little angry, but thinking that this is Yan Bingshu's company, which is now also my own company, Making a fuss with these small characters would be a loss of dignity. I put the 2 documents on the table. Manager, it's not that I'm being opportunistic, nor that I don't want to help you photocopy. It's just that the CEO just asked me to go to her office. You can't make her wait for me, right? This document is an introduction to the company group. A new employee who just joined the company probably doesn't need it. Besides, the manager probably doesn't need it urgently. Ha ha ha, the bald boss laughed out loud. His beer belly swayed interestingly. The CEO is calling you Su Chen? What a liar you are. Do you think you can bluster in the extraordinary group after watching some office romance TV shows? Besides, the CEO wouldn't look for you, a small design assistant. Even if she did, Special Assistant Zhang from the CEO's office would call to notify me first and then you, but I haven't received any call. I see you have bad intentions. Just as the manager finished speaking, his phone suddenly rang. The whole office was startled. Everyone looked at the phone. The manager's neck turned stiffly. He frowned, looking at the phone on his desk. What the heck? Why is the phone ringing now? Could it be a call from the CEO's office? Hello, this is the design department office of the Extraordinary Group. It's the CEO's office. Yes, right now I'll call him. The female colleague's face turned pale and her eyes filled with shock. She said to the manager, panicked, "Manager, answer the phone quickly." The manager had a solemn expression. He approached and asked, "Who is it? The CEO's office?" Seeing the colleague shake her head, the manager breathed a sigh of relief. As long as it wasn't the CEO's office, he feared no one. Before answering the phone, he even glanced at me sideways. "Hello, I'm Manager Zhang from the design department." "The CEO? Fine. Right now I'll go find him." The manager, who had just been arrogant, was now paler than the colleague. His fat hands trembled as he held the phone. He told me, Mr. Su, the CEO is calling for you." I walked over there with a calm posture. Compared to the 2 of them, my way of answering the phone was far too elegant. It seemed as though the person on the other end wasn't the cold and beautiful CEO of the Extraordinary Group, but my gentle and attentive wife at home. "I'll be up right away." "Okay, see you later." I hung up the phone and looked at the manager over there. He had an expression as if he had seen a ghost. He lowered his head hastily, not daring to meet my eyes. I walked toward him and said with a smile, "Manager, I'm heading up for a moment, okay? This document." I raised my eyebrows. The manager immediately pulled the 2 documents into his arms. "I'll photocopy them myself. I'm going right now." As he watched me enter the elevator, the manager felt his knees buckle and he almost slipped. Fortunately, he leaned against the desk and barely kept his footing. Otherwise, he would have been deeply embarrassed in front of his subordinates. "The new handsome guy isn't normal," the CEO called him personally. "Tell me about it." That was the first time I've heard the CEO speak in the 3 years I've been at the company. My legs were shaking. The CEO's voice is too beautiful. I think our manager met a tough nut to crack this time. Never underestimate any new intern in the company, because you'll never know who is standing behind them. I arrived at the office upstairs. As soon as I entered, I put on a charming smile. The sunlight streamed in, bathing my features in a soft golden layer. Yan Bingshu froze for an instant. Sweetness appeared at the corners of her eyes and brows. "Su Chen, what you said about mechs at the photo studio yesterday, I think it's excellent." Today, during the internal meeting, I spoke with the head of the company's research department. "Everyone is very shocked and full of admiration for your concept. Do you mind that I shared your concept without your permission? After all, this is personal knowledge and you can apply for protection. Mechs are a very popular research direction right now. The theory I laid out yesterday, if heard by someone with hidden intentions, would be enough to create a new era of development." I smiled brightly and said boldly, "Why would I mind? If you want to hear those things, I can tell them to you at any time. You can tell whoever you want. They are nothing more than a bunch of concepts. Even if I make them public now, it would probably take those people decades to turn them into real mechs. The mech knowledge from the system is undoubtedly many times superior to the current research level in this world. But concepts alone are useless. One also needs the initial manufacturing skills granted by the system to truly turn concepts into reality." Yan Bingshu listened to me say these words and saw the confidence on my face. Her heart stirred slightly. Tuan and Lele's dad is an honorable man. The people in my research department also say these concepts are great, but they can't do it. Many concepts are completely beyond their current research scope. Su Chen, would you like to research mechs? The design department you're in now was determined by your university major, but I believe that with your research on mechs, you can join the most core mech research group within the extraordinary group. Would you like to work in this field? I thought about it and smiled. The mech research group sounds great. Just in time, Tuan and Lele are very interested in mechs. How about I build them a mech to play with? If anyone else said this, Yan Bingshu probably wouldn't even bother to look at them. Build a mech for children to play with? That's bragging to the high heavens. When I said it, Yan Bingshu felt I could definitely do it. Fine, then I'll ask Special Assistant Zhang to organize it. Let's go down. We'll go to the research group in a moment. I nodded, stood up, and walked toward the door. Suddenly I stopped, turned around, and looked back. Today's lipstick shade suits you very well. You're beautiful. Yan Bingshu froze for a moment, and her face flushed immediately. Her small ears were almost red to the point of transparency. She looked at the closed office door, stood up, walked to the window, and took some fresh air. This Su Chen, how is he so shameless even in the office during the day? Yan Bingshu thought with frustration, but she couldn't help but take her phone and open the front camera to look. Today I'm wearing Saint Laurent number 21. The color really is good. I had just said goodbye to the mother of my children. I drove my 170 million yuan Rolls-Royce to attend an alumni reunion. The moment I opened the door and entered, I attracted many glances. When Hua Qinxi's eyes landed on me, she couldn't help but sigh in her heart. So handsome. Too bad he has no future or prospects. She liked him when they were in college. But now, after graduation, future prospects were more important, so she chose Lin Tianxiang, who had more money. Classmates, a luxury car just passed by a moment ago, and the most handsome guy in our class just walked up. Do you think maybe he bought that Rolls-Royce from just now? He pretended to ask, but the way he looked at me was full of contempt and a wait-and-see attitude for a good show. This person was Chen Guang, Lin Tianxiang's roommate, and he had no sympathy for me. He had no family background himself and was used to bragging and acting arrogant behind Lin Tianxiang, which caused him to develop an inexplicable pride. I didn't understand what there was to be proud of in being a dog hiding behind someone else's power. After all, that car really is mine. Lin Tianxiang suddenly laughed. Guanzi, don't talk nonsense. That car from just now was a global limited edition Rolls-Royce, high-end customized. There are only 3 in the entire world, and it costs 170 million yuan. How could the handsomest guy in our class afford such an expensive luxury car? Wan Ting also walked over and stood by Lin Tianxiang. Exactly. Do you think everyone is young Master Lin? How could Su Chen afford a car worth over 100 million yuan? Our handsome Su only has this face he can brag about. But beauty only works in school. In society, you have to speak with strength. Just as Wan Ting finished speaking, the private room door opened again. A staff member approached Lin Tianxiang and respectfully handed him the Maserati keys. Lin Tianxiang took the car keys in an exaggerated way and waved them in front of me. Su Chen, we are classmates. After entering society, of course, I am willing to help you. This car is new. If you need it, I can lend it to you to go to interviews to make a good impression. Do you have a driver's license? I listened to them talk for a long time and couldn't help but laugh. All this talk for a broken Maserati worth a few million. Is a broken Maserati even worthy of being arrogant in front of me? Broken Maserati? Su Chen, are you living in a dream? Do you think you can even afford this Maserati? Lin Tianxiang turned livid at the retort. I pursed my lips. A Maserati worth over 5 million. A few days ago, maybe it would have meant something to me. But now, driving a customized Rolls-Royce worth over 100 million, I'd be too lazy to drive it even if you gave it to me for free. I have my own car. Ha ha ha, Wan Ting laughed, as if she had heard the biggest joke in the world. Our handsome Su also bought a car? It wouldn't be the Wuling Hongguang that's so trendy lately, would it? Chen Guang added fuel to the fire from the side. Handsome guy, seriously, that Wuling Hongguang isn't bad. The high-end one costs 38,000 yuan, ha ha ha. The male classmates chuckled. I, however, remained unfazed. I looked at them as if they were sand. These snobbish types think a Maserati is amazing. If they knew I drove a 170 million yuan Rolls-Royce, they'd probably kneel. Several girls couldn't take it anymore and said annoyedly, Lin Tianxiang, Chen Guang, Wan Ting, you 3 are too much. Su Chen is our classmate, As soon as he arrived, you started mocking him. Are you jealous that he's more handsome than you? You just have some money, so what? Have you never seen a humble person succeed? Have you never seen a rich person go broke? The quality of you three is very low. The words made the three of them turn pale. Just as they were about to refute, the private room door opened again. A waitress ran in and said to the parking valet who had just delivered the car keys, "Why are you running so fast? I can't catch up with you." The parking valet was stunned. "What's wrong? I'm delivering the car keys to a client." "Deliver what?" "A Rolls-Royce has arrived downstairs. Hurry and move the client's Maserati. We have to leave the best spot free for that 170 million yuan Rolls-Royce. We don't dare touch that car at all. If we scratch it even a little, we won't be able to pay for it, even if we sell everything we own." The parking valet was startled. He turned quickly. "Mr. Lin, I'm sorry. I need to use your car keys to move it elsewhere." Lin Xiangxiang was embarrassed, but thinking of the 170 million yuan Rolls-Royce from a moment ago, he could only yield. He threw the car keys to the valet with a look of disgust and said in a cold voice, "Be careful driving it. Leave it in a good spot. If you hit or scrape it, you won't be able to pay for it." Lin Tianjiang still felt a bit reluctant. He stood by the window and watched his Maserati leave the best parking spot. And then the astronomical-priced Rolls-Royce pulled in. The classmates rushed to the window to see the luxury car. "This car is too cool, as expected of a 170 million yuan car. I feel like it's made of gold. It's a dream I can never achieve in my life. If I could sit in the passenger seat of a car like that, I'd feel like my life was worth it." Lin Tianxiang's face darkened. Then he said, "What's so great about a luxury car? Let's eat. By the way, Su Chen, where did you park your car?" Lin Tianxiang was annoyed that his car's parking spot had been changed. He wanted to abuse me to satisfy his vanity. I knew what Lin Tianxiang's intentions were. I sneered and lifted my chin, pointing at the Rolls-Royce below. "Where is my car parked? Aren't you looking at it?" Lin Tianxiang laughed out loud as if he'd heard the biggest joke. "Su Chen, are you saying the car below is yours?" I nodded. "Exactly, it's mine." "Ha ha ha." Wan Ting laughed even louder. A burst of laughter erupted among the boys. The female classmates couldn't take it and said, "What are you doing? Is only Lin allowed to buy a car and Sue, the handsome guy, can't?" "Exactly, we are all classmates. Is it so hard to admit someone else is excellent? Why do you always pick on Sue, the handsome guy?" Although several girls interceded for me, they also didn't believe the 170 million yuan car below was mine. Lin Tianxiang and Wan Ting looked at the girls in their class and said very helplessly, "You girls are so mesmerized by Su Chen's face. The car below is a luxury car worth over 100 million, nearly 200 million. He is a poor college student who couldn't even buy a bicycle in 4 years. Do you think he can afford a Rolls-Royce?" Wan Ting said directly, "If that car belongs to Su Chen today in front of all my classmates, I will call him Grandpa and kneel to give him 3 loud kowtows." "I'm not interested in gaining grandchildren," I laughed. "If you insist on saying so, I can offer this good show to my classmates." Just as I finished speaking, the parking valet entered again. This time, he was following a man in a suit and tie. The lead man, with 3 parking valets behind him, approached me. He greeted me respectfully with a bow. "Hello, I am the lobby manager here. Sir, your Rolls-Royce has been parked in the best spot for you. To ensure safety, we have placed a warning line around it, but it won't prevent you from leaving. We have dedicated staff to guard your car. Here are your car keys, distinguished customer. Enjoy your meal." At that moment, the parking valet from a moment ago approached Lin Tianxiang, handed him the Maserati keys, and said with admiration, "Sir, your classmates are really full of hidden talents," finished the parking valet. Lin Tianxiang's face grew even gloomier hearing this. What hidden talents? Who is the tiger and who is the dragon? Su Chen is just a poor boy. But at that moment, the classmates were stunned by the luxury car of this poor boy. "Su Chen, is this Rolls-Royce really yours? My God, handsome guy, you've struck it rich." "Brother Su, you're too incredible. A 170 million yuan super luxury car, limited to 3 in the world. My God, Brother Su, you're generous. 4 years in college, Brother Su, you hid yourself so well. Brother Su, is it very cool to drive this luxury car? We just saw this car pass by, and it looks so good." I smiled and waved my hand. Cars are more or less the same. A good car is just more comfortable to sit in and drive. If you're curious, you can go down and see it for yourselves after we eat. The female classmates' eyes also changed as they looked at me. They all looked like hungry wolves, almost with green eyes. But the most shocked was Hua Qingxi. When did Su Chen become so rich? What exactly did she miss out on? Passion was rekindled in Hua Qingxi's eyes. She stealthily moved away from Lin Tianxiang. Su Chen, you're truly incredible. You bought such a good car right after graduating. I looked at Hua Qingxi. I smiled non-committally. This girl, the class beauty, had some interest in me during the 4 years of college. I had zero interest in her. Now that the mother of my children is many times more beautiful than the class beauty, I have even less interest in her. Wan Ting stood in the crowd looking at my face, with a light of extreme suspicion shining in her eyes. Where on earth did Su Chen get such an expensive car? Judging by his spending habits in school, how could he afford such an expensive car? He can't even afford a 1 million yuan car, not even one wheel. Okay, Su Chen, if you want to brag, I'll support you. Su Chen, I really didn't expect you to be so incredible. You bought a 170 million yuan Rolls-Royce before graduating. Only one mysterious boss in our entire Dragon Kingdom bought this customized model. Now there's one more. That said, we have 2 people in our Dragon Kingdom who bought a special 170 million yuan Rolls-Royce. You really honor our Dragon Kingdom. Buying a car for 170 million, his family must have billions in assets at minimum. Chen Guang echoed immediately. Lin Tianxiang had been speechless before. Hearing Wan Ting and Chen Guang's words, his IQ returned immediately. He also didn't believe the car was mine. It must be rented. At the thought of that scene, where after renting it today, I'll have to eat dirt to pay off the debt for the next few months. His suppressed mood improved immediately. A smile appeared on his face. Su Chen, I didn't expect you to be so incredible. No wonder all my classmates are desperately looking for work while you're very calm. Turns out you have a mine at home. My family is middle class and has a small business. My father doesn't allow me to work outside. He asks me to return home to inherit the company as soon as I graduate. What big group is your family's company? Is it the Extraordinary Group? Wan Ting immediately joined the conversation upon hearing this. It's definitely the Extraordinary Group. Only a group with a market value of trillions of yuan is worthy of our young Master Su's status. Chen Guang also held back his laughter. Yes, it's true. Our young Master Su's status is only worthy of the Extraordinary Group, valued at trillions of yuan. The classmates grew worried seeing these 3 people flattering me in such a way, and they looked at me. They wanted to speak, but didn't know what to say. They were all anxious for a moment. After the excitement, they also calmed down. Especially after hearing what Lin Tianxiang and the others said, they calmed down even more. The car really could be rented. I didn't expect Lin Tianxiang and the other 2's IQs to return. They weren't just trampling on me anymore, they also knew how to flatter me to death. I have to say, seeing these 3 people talking like clowns was quite interesting to me. I smiled and spread my hands. You actually got it right. The Extraordinary Group really is mine. I'm not going to pretend anymore. I confess I really work at the Extraordinary Group. Here's my ID card. Saying that, I pulled out my ID card. The classmates didn't believe I could drive a 170 million yuan luxury car, much less that I worked at the Extraordinary Group. Su Chen, I really didn't expect you to be such a braggart. I'll call my uncle right now. Let's see how you manage. Uncle Wei, it's Tianxiang. I have a classmate who received an offer from the Extraordinary Group, but isn't it hard to get into the Extraordinary Group? So I'm asking for your help to inquire. Okay, I'll wait for your call. He hung up the phone and looked at me with mockery. Su Chen didn't expect me to have this ability? I wasn't nervous at all. Instead, I watched Lin Tiantian's performance. Let's see what he can find out. At that moment, the phone rang. Lin Tianjiang put it on speaker on purpose. Tianjiang, I just asked my friend at Extraordinary. They said there is no one new named Su Chen in the company. Oh, I see. Thanks, uncle. Lin Tianjiang hung up the phone with a smile. Su Chen, what do you have to say? The Extraordinary Group says you don't exist. The female classmates looked at each other. Some of the bolder ones approached me and said in a low voice, Classmate, why don't you go home first today? I think it's better not to eat this meal. Geiyu was fuming, seeing everyone laughing at me. My brother Su works at the Extraordinary Group. I looked at Lin Tianjiang and smiled. Classmate Lin, why don't you ask clearly? If there is a misunderstanding, I'm afraid you'll be more embarrassed later. So ask them about the mech design department. Mech design department? The mech design department of the Extraordinary Group is a place that can rival the Dragon Academy of Sciences. Do you think you're worthy? Just then, a pleasant voice interrupted the tension in the room. Hello? Are you Mr. Su? Everyone turned around and saw a beautiful woman in a business suit standing at the door. Beside her was an old man. The old man wore clothes that denoted extraordinary composure. He looked like an academic scholar. I said calmly, "It's me." "Hello, Miss Zhou. I am the assistant to the Dean of the Dragon Academy of Sciences, and this is our Dean. Our Dean wants to talk to you. Would you mind sparing a few minutes of your time?" The audience was instantly shocked. "What's going on? The Dean of the Dragon Academy of Sciences came personally? This is too exaggerated." The Dragon Academy of Sciences is the most important research institution in our Dragon Kingdom. It contains the most mysterious and advanced mech research. Could it be that what Su Chen said about being in the mech research department of the Extraordinary Group wasn't a brag, but real? My God! Su Chen is incredible. Wan Ting felt so frustrated hearing what the girls were saying that he almost exploded. You women have long hair and short vision. I think you're blinded by Su Chen's appearance. Didn't you hear what young Master Lin's uncle said? Su Chen is bragging. He didn't even get into the Extraordinary Group. As for this old man, he says he's the Dean of the Academy of Agricultural Sciences. Do you really believe it? It could be that the old man and his assistant were hired by Su Chen to act. Yu snorted. Wan Ting, I think you really are ignorant. How could you know how incredible my brother Su is? Wan Ting rolled his eyes. If I'm ignorant, you're a little worm in a pit. Yu didn't continue arguing with him. What mattered to him now was that the Dean of the Dragon Academy of Sciences had actually come looking for me. It seemed his brother Su was indeed incredible. A female classmate suddenly said, her face full of shock, pointing at the TV that no one was watching, "My God, look quickly. The person on TV is the old man from just now." Everyone looked and saw the TV was broadcasting a CCTV talk show. The old man's identity was indeed the Dean of the Mech Research Faculty of the Dragon Academy of Sciences. It's true. Classmate Su can really make mechs. This is too cool. Both the female and male classmates were excited, their eyes shining. Lin Tianxiang was not in a good mood at this moment. Seeing that it was his uncle calling, he turned on the speaker on purpose so the classmates would know that even if the Dean of the Dragon Academy of Sciences came to look for me, I was still a braggart since I didn't work at the Extraordinary Group. Tianxiang, I'm sorry, my friend from the Extraordinary Group called me again. They said they do indeed have a new employee named Su Chen, but he just joined the Mech Research Department. The Mech Research Department of the Extraordinary Group is very mysterious. He also found out from someone high up. Tianxiang, your classmate is incredible. Since he's your university classmate, you have to get along with him. Maybe he can take care of you in the future. With a buzz, Lin Tianxiang was completely stunned. He hung up the phone hurriedly, but all the classmates had heard those words. Brother Su wasn't joking. He really entered the Mech Research Department of the Extraordinary Group. Even the Dean of the Dragon Academy of Sciences came to find him. Brother Su is too incredible. Our third-tier university can actually produce such a brilliant person in mech research. Brother Su is so powerful. Wonderful. At that moment, I was in another room talking to the vice president. So your intention is that after hearing my theories on mechs yesterday, you want to recruit me into the mech research branch of the Dragon Academy of Sciences? The vice president nodded. Mr. Su, with a young talent like you in the Dragon Kingdom, I believe our mech technology will definitely achieve breakthroughs. A talent like Mr. Su. If you are willing to join our Dragon Academy of Sciences, even if you come as a consultant, it's no problem if you can't come every day. Mr. Su, as long as you are willing to come to the Dragon Academy of Sciences, you can present any requirements you want. An annual salary of 2 million yuan is the baseline, and your housing problem in Zhonghai can also be resolved. To be honest, I was very excited at that moment. As a young man in the Dragon Kingdom, being personally invited by the Dean of the Dragon Academy of Sciences was a great honor. I immediately told the Vice President with great seriousness, "Vice President, I am willing to join the Dragon Academy of Sciences. I have been waiting for the day I could serve my country." The Vice President became excited immediately. Good, good, good. Mr. Su, you are the pride of our Dragon Kingdom. Don't worry, the Dragon Kingdom will never treat you poorly. Then it's settled. I will take some time to go to the Dragon Academy of Sciences for the formalities. Today is the farewell dinner for my college classmates, so I will take my leave first. At that moment, the door to the private room opened. The Vice President personally accompanied me to the door. Mr. Su, then it's settled. I will send someone to pick you up next Monday. I nodded. Dean, you are very kind. Take care on your way out. As soon as I entered the room, the atmosphere suddenly ignited. Wan Ting, who had just questioned my ability to enter the Dragon Academy of Sciences, had a face as colorful as if he had eaten feces. Brother Su, you are too incredible. This is like taking a step up to heaven. In the future, you have to look out for us, your college classmates. Lin Tianxiang had nothing left to brag about, so he could only say boldly, Su Chen, you, a single dog, don't even have a girlfriend. Having said that, he reached out to pull Qin Qinshi, wanting to show off their love. As a result, Qin Qinshi slapped his hand away. There are so many classmates here. Don't be ridiculous. She finished speaking and looked at me with an expression of expectation and tenderness. Lin Tianxiang felt immediately embarrassed. Just as he was about to get angry, the door to the private room suddenly opened. An adorable little girl burst in and ran straight into my arms. Baba! Her sweet, soft voice, combined with her cute face carved like pink jade, instantly shocked everyone present. Immediately after, another little boy walked through the door. He was just as adorable, only his expression was a bit more serious. Tuan, didn't mommy tell you not to run around? Two babies this adorable. Are they the children of the handsome guy Su? Just before everyone had time to ask, their eyes were drawn to Yan Bingshu at the door. My God, this beauty! Even the top actresses and movie stars in the entertainment industry don't compare at all. Who is this woman? She's beautiful and cool. The female classmates in the private room were instantly surpassed by Yan Bingshu. They were all completely eclipsed. Yan Bingshu walked up to me. I went to pick up Tuan and Lele. They didn't want to go home with me. They insisted on coming to find Baba, so I brought them. I hope I haven't disturbed you. I shook my head, lifting Tuan into my arms. No, not at all. We haven't even started eating yet. Then I looked at everyone. Sorry, my two little ones are too clingy. You don't mind if I bring my family to the farewell dinner, right? The classmates immediately shook their heads, looking at me, Yan Bingshu beside me, and the two adorable little ones with excited eyes full of envy. The guys couldn't contain their envy. Although the girls were a bit disappointed, they were also impressed by this beautiful family of four. Chen Jikyung, who was sitting next to me, immediately gave up his seat, making room for the two children. Brother Su, are they our sister-in-law, our little niece, and our little nephew? I nodded, pulled out a chair, and said to Yan Bingshu, have a seat. We sat down as a family. The atmosphere in the private room instantly lit up. Handsome Su, you really are married. And your wife is so beautiful. And you even have a pair of adorable twins. This is too enviable. Brother Su, these two adorable little ones of yours, and they're twins. You and the sister-in-law are truly incredible. Everyone in the room was excited and greeted Yan Bingshu and the two little ones, except for Lin Tianxiang and Qin Qinji beside him, who had bitter expressions. Lin Tianxiang didn't expect me to have such a beautiful wife and a pair of adorable twins. His previous mockery now turned into invisible slaps hitting him in the face. Although no one was paying attention to him, he felt humiliated. Qing Qingqi, for her part, felt a bit sad. She felt like she had missed a 100 million yuan opportunity. He's so incredible, handsome, and rich. If only I had been more proactive back then. The sister-in-law looks familiar. She's so beautiful. Is she a celebrity? A female classmate asked in surprise. Geiyu smiled with the expression of someone in love. What are you saying, sister? Our sister-in-law isn't in the entertainment industry. Our sister-in-law became famous through her own strength. She is the CEO of the Extraordinary Group. The classmate was shocked. My God! Sister-in-law is CEO Yan of the Extraordinary Group. She is my idol. The other classmates were also shocked. My God, handsome Su, how many things have you hidden from us? It turns out you were already married to CEO Yan and had a pair of adorable twins a long time ago. Now I know why handsome Su wasn't anxious while we were all running around looking for jobs. It turns out the Extraordinary Group is owned by our brother Su. Brother Su, can you share with us your love story with the sister-in-law? This is a real-life version of the handsome guy and the beautiful CEO. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Everyone was making a fuss. I turned and looked at Yan Bingshu. The moment our gazes met, Yan Bingshu lowered her eyes slightly, but her ears were already red. It was rumored that the beautiful CEO of the Extraordinary Group, Yan Bingshu, was as cold and glamorous as her name. I didn't expect her to show that side in front of Su Chen. Seeing that Yan Bingshu was a little embarrassed, I turned my head and whispered in her ear, "Everyone wants to hear from me. Should I say something?" Our distance was already short. The moment I spoke, my warm breath spread across the side of her face. Yan Bingshu's heart beat a little faster. She felt a bit emotional. In fact, not only did the babies want to find Dad, but she didn't want to go back alone either. She wanted to be with me, but I was having dinner with my classmates, and she wasn't sure if I would want her to come. After all, I hadn't even posted about our marriage on my social networks. Yan Bingshu nodded, looking at me expectantly. She wanted to know what I thought of our story. "The love story with your sister-in-law is long," I said. "Let me tell you a classic fact. My marriage proposal to your sister-in-law last night, I organized a drone wedding for her in the Central Plaza. I put a lot of effort into winning her over." As soon as I said that, 5 classmates who followed social media reacted immediately. The drone proposal from the rich guy at the Central Plaza last night was planned by Brother Su for the sister-in-law. My God. Last night, all I saw was Brother Su's proposal event. I didn't expect this to be the love story of our handsome guy and the sister-in-law. I am witnessing first-hand gossip. Chen Ji-chang, who was sitting there, said with a smile, "Sister-in-law, you must have been very moved by the proposal last night, right? To be honest, even I, a man, was moved." Yan Bingsu's cheeks were flushed. She nodded and looked at me with happiness. It was very unexpected and very moving. This classmate reunion ended with me being the center of attention, and Lin Tianxiang being slapped at every turn. The news that the beautiful CEO Yan Bingshu and I had obtained a marriage certificate also reached my mother-in-law's ears. My mother-in-law, Tang Shuyun, decided to make a discreet visit to meet the man who had taken her cabbage. Shortly after, Tang Shuyun arrived outside the company cafeteria. "Xiao Qi, is that him?" Secretary Qi nodded. "Yes, ma'am. That is Mr. Su Chen. He was personally brought in by CEO Yan." Tang Shuyun smiled from ear to ear. "Xiao Qi, I'm going to the cafeteria for a discreet visit. Immediately tell the cafeteria staff not to give me away." Secretary Qi frowned with confusion but complied with the lady's order. Who on earth is this Su Chen? CEO Yan recruited him personally, and he went straight to the mech design department. Now even the lady has to disguise herself to see him. She immediately sent a mass message to the employee group. "The lady is on a discreet visit. Everyone, please remain discreet." When she finished organizing, Tang Shuyun went into the back kitchen, put on an extraordinary group work uniform, and entered the cafeteria. As soon as she entered, the management staff saw her. Their eyes lit up, and they were about to greet her. But Tang Shuyun coughed loudly and winked desperately. The other person immediately remembered the text message from a moment ago, "Shut up," and stood there obediently. What's happening? Why is the lady coming to the employee restaurant for a discreet visit suddenly? 80% of the company's employees recognize the lady's face. Does a discreet visit even make sense? Judging by the lady's appearance, she seems to have a special goal today. Tang Shuyun walked around my side with her food tray and then suddenly approached the opposite side of me. "Is anyone here? Can I sit here?" I looked up and saw it was a woman in her 30s, very elegant and beautiful. I smiled. Of course. Tang Shuyun sat down and didn't rush to eat. She took the initiative to speak to me. "Are you a new employee of our company? I don't remember seeing you in the cafeteria before." She's coming to flirt, I thought amusedly. My charm is not small. Even a woman in her 30s is attracted to my beauty. I just started working the day before yesterday. I knew it. How could I not know if such a handsome young man like you has been at the extraordinary group all along? Tang Shuyun's eyes looked at me with a smile. She was becoming more and more satisfied. "This young man is too handsome." Standing next to our Bingshu and with Tuan Tuan and Lele, it's like a painting. "Young man, why are you eating alone here? Doesn't your girlfriend accompany you?" I thought this is a typical test. She wants to know if I have a girlfriend. Well, no matter who you are, I ignore everyone else. "Ma'am, don't let my youth fool you. I'm already married, and my 2 children are already 3 years old." Tang Shuyun gasped slightly. She couldn't help but show an expression of joy. "He called me, ma'am. This boy knows how to talk." And he directly admitted he is married, and even treats Tuan Tuan and Lele as his own children. He's a good boy with a sense of responsibility. I saw that the other party was not only not disappointed, but seemed even happier. I felt a bit confused. What's going on? Didn't this lady come to flirt? She knows I'm married and have children, so why does she still have this expression? Tang Shuyun was now looking at me the way a mother-in-law looks at a son-in-law. The more she looked at me, the more she liked me. Such a good son-in-law, she couldn't let him go easily. She had to help her daughter win my heart. Step 1 to help my daughter. Ask about the son-in-law's taste so I can please him. You're already married and you have 2 3-year-old children? Young man, you are very promising. After praising me, Tang Shuyun started having lunch. While she ate, she asked, "Young man, do you think the food in our cafeteria is delicious?" I nodded. "Not bad. It's much better than the college cafeteria. The cafeteria here hires professional chefs, and the special dishes change every day. What flavors do you usually like? Do you like spicy or sweet?" "I'm not very picky. Everything is fine. I eat a bit more spicy." Then, just one more gossipy question. "What kind of girl do you like? You married so young. Your wife must be very beautiful, right?" The other party was very enthusiastic. I also ate while chatting casually. "The mother of my children is indeed a great beauty. Young man, you said you're in college, so you must not be very old, right? Did your family agree with you getting married so soon? By the way, who else is in your family?" I gradually realized that the questions from this beautiful lady were a bit like an interrogation. This didn't look like normal flirting. Seeing the situation, I immediately picked up my food tray. "Ma'am, I've finished eating. Eat slowly." Having said that, I left with my tray. Tang Shuyun looked at my back with a smile on her face. Although she didn't ask many things that could help her daughter today, at least she had already met me. The daycare dismissal time is 4:30 p.m. The extraordinary group closes at 5:30 p.m. I finished my work early and left. My mood was great as I drove to the daycare. Now I am also the father of 2 daycare children. I arrived at the daycare at 4:10 p.m., but the outside of the garden was already full of cars. The parents picking up their children almost always arrived early. Tuan saw me outside, turned her head and immediately waved at me happily. "Baba!" The little girl sat obediently on the stool. She didn't run out, following the rules, but her eyes were full of excitement and enthusiasm. The teacher saw me and immediately came over smiling. "Mr. Su, you've arrived. Come in and sit down." I went in. Lele immediately moved to the side, leaving the stool between him and Tuan free. He looked away, avoiding my sight. This little one is still so stubborn. I sat between my son and my daughter. "Parents, this is Tuan and Lele's dad. The 2 handcrafts I showed you that won joint first place were completed with his help." The parents in the crowd looked at me. "Mr. Su, your hands are so skilled. How did you come up with such ingenious and simple crafts?" "Tuan, Lele, your dad is incredible. He is a role model for us to learn from. I hope my little chubby one can also win the first prize in the future." Tuan took my hand very happily and said generously, "Everyone can ask Baba. My Baba is super smart." Lele didn't speak, but hearing everyone's praise, his little face filled with smiles. He unconsciously moved closer to me, shortening the distance between the 2 of us. At 4:30 sharp, we left the daycare. I put Tuan and Lele in the rear safety seats and went to drive. Tuan chatted all the way like an adorable songbird, talking about what happened at daycare during the day. "Baba, today my brother and I were super happy. We both won small red flowers and first place certificates. Baba, the other children envied us a lot. Everyone wanted the small toys we made, but Tuan forgot how to make them. But fortunately, my brother remembers everything." Lele was suddenly named. I saw that he was looking at me. His little face suddenly flushed, and he turned his head awkwardly. His hand also touched his warm ear in an unnatural way. I felt very happy seeing this scene. This boy doesn't say anything on the surface, but he actually learned all my skill last night. Tuan, Lele, Mom went on a business trip today and will return later. It will just be the 3 of us at home tonight. Will Dad prepare dinner for you, okay? Tuan nodded happily upon hearing this. Yes. Tuan wants the food Baba makes. Lele was a little worried. How can Baba cook? They had been living here for 3 days and he hadn't seen me cook. In reality, I didn't have much confidence in my skills either. But the little ones, food is not complicated. I thought I would look for a tutorial online and it wouldn't be hard to learn. Ding! Detecting that the host is going to cook for the babies. First, check in the kitchen with the babies. Check-in successful. Reward the host with the god of cooking skill. The system is incredible. Now I don't need to learn to cook. With the god of cooking skill, I can conquer the babies' stomachs in minutes. I activated the skill. In the time it took me to open the refrigerator, I could already feel the changes in my body. Looking at the ingredients in front of me, my mind suddenly became a precise and advanced machine. Instantly, Dozens of dish combinations for the refrigerator ingredients came to mind. I decided to make sweet and sour pork ribs and the Coca-Cola chicken wings that the little ones like. The vegetables would be mixed shrimp with corn and pine nuts, accompanied by broccoli with garlic and salt-blanched vegetable stems. There were 3 people eating, including 2 babies. I prepared a small amount of each dish so it would be better to eat it all at once and not waste anything. Lele watched for a while. He saw that I was very focused and that he couldn't help with anything, so he went out to wait for dinner with his sister. Dinner was ready. Tuan Tuan and Lele sat on the dining table chairs, looking at the delicious food in front of them, mouths wide open in surprise. Baba made so much delicious food. The big wings are Tuan Tuan's favorite. The little one immediately took a Coca-Cola chicken wing and started eating it with her hand. How delicious. Baba did it very well. The soup is also super tasty. Baba, you're incredible. It tastes even better than the food the aunt at home makes. Lele, hearing his sister's exaggerated praise, wasn't very convinced. Mom said the aunt at home is a professional cook. How can Baba cook better than her? Lele also took his chopsticks and decided to try it himself. He took a shrimp and put it in his mouth very elegantly. He was going to savor it slowly, but as soon as the shrimp entered his mouth, the flavor spread across his taste buds. How fresh and tender. This is too delicious. Lele's eyes lit up. I saw it all. Although my son didn't congratulate me on cooking well, the fact that he ate 2 large bowls of rice was already the greatest recognition for me. Around 8 p.m., Tuan Tuan and Lele had already bathed. Yan Bingshu had not yet returned. The 2 children were a bit disappointed, looking at the door from time to time. I knew that the babies grew up with Yan Bingshu. They were fine during the day, but if they didn't see her at night, they would definitely feel very sad. But Yan Bingshu said she would return late tonight, so I didn't mention the matter. I accompanied them to play in the living room for a while and then helped them rest. Tuan Tuan was lying in my arms. The mouth of the little one, who usually chatted non-stop, was slightly pursed. My heart ached, so I hugged my daughter and comforted her until she fell asleep in my arms before laying her down in her room. Lele is a boy, and he doesn't like to be hugged, so he lay down alone early. But when Tuan Tuan fell asleep, he was still awake, a bit depressed. I fixed my daughter's quilt, then reached out and gently stroked Lele's head. Mom will finish working and return later. Go to sleep early. Lele looked at me, and the unease in his heart suddenly disappeared. He nodded and gently closed his eyes. At that moment, Yan Bingshu, who was finishing her work outside, looked at her watch. It was already half an hour past her scheduled time. If she returned according to the original plan, she definitely wouldn't get home at 10 o'clock. Special Assistant Zhang, arrange a helicopter immediately. I want to arrive at the airport according to the original plan. To see me and the 2 babies sooner, Yan Bingshu returned directly by helicopter. Arriving downstairs, Yan Bingshu, who had been in a hurry, suddenly slowed her pace. She looked up toward my house on the 3rd floor. In the dark night, it seemed to glow with warmth and was particularly attractive. She quickly entered through the door. Yan Bingshu saw me tidying things in the living room at a glance. At that moment, there were children's toys everywhere. I had almost finished tidying. There were a few scattered things that I was about to pick up and put away in the storage box. Hearing the sound of the door opening, I turned around and stood up. I saw Yan Bingshu standing there at a glance. There was a wind tonight, and her long hair was a bit messy. She looked a bit tired, probably rushed back, thinking of the time she agreed on, and that it was now exactly 10 o'clock. I thought Yan Bingshu must have rushed back. My heart suddenly warmed. I stood up, walked to the door, and gently hugged Yan Bingshu. A fleeting hug. I quickly pulled back. You're back? It's windy outside. Are you cold? Yan Bingshu's cheeks were red. She shook her head. I'm not cold. It's very warm. It was windy outside, but in that instant, her whole body had warmed up. She didn't expect me to hug her, although it was just a simple hug. It was a historic moment for the 2 of us. This is progress for him, right? How great! Gululu. The atmosphere in the living room was pleasant, but in the quiet night, an untimely sound suddenly rang out. Yan Bingshu was startled, and her face turned completely red. She covered her stomach in a panic. My God, how embarrassing! Why am I hungry now? I let out a little giggle. I knew Yan Bingshu was embarrassed and didn't dare to laugh too much. But, to be honest, Yan Bingshu looked very adorable at that moment. You worked until so late without eating. I'll be angry if you do this again. I'm going to prepare something for you. Tomato and egg noodles or shredded meat noodles? Which do you want? Yan Bingshu was both embarrassed and delighted. She pursed her rosy lips. Either is fine. I was cooking noodles in the kitchen, with a light blue apron tied around my waist. I looked very serious cutting the strips of meat, which made me look very domestic. It was just that my handsome facial features were a bit striking. Such a handsome man cooking in the kitchen looked like a scene from a romantic drama. Yan Bingshu stood in the doorway, looking at me with admiration and love. She took out her phone, wanting to record this scene. Gu Yexin sent her a message at that moment. Bing Su, what are you doing? Do you want to go out for a drink? Yan Bingshu saw this message and immediately took a photo of my profile making dinner and sent it to her. I'm busy, I can't go. Bingshu, am I your best friend or not? You got married and now I can't even invite you to eat? How infuriating. You're rubbing your love in my face. I have food at home. I'll order delivery for you. It seemed that ordering delivery for her was Yan Bingshu's greatest kindness and love toward her. Yan Bingshu, you've changed. You have a husband and you've forgotten your best friend. I didn't think you were that kind of person. Yan Bingshu's earlobe warmed slightly upon seeing this message. She replied with a cute emoji sticking her tongue out. Gu Yexin was stunned when she saw it. Love is terrifying. My beautiful Bingxu is even sending this kind of emoji. Okay, I won't disturb your little life. By the way, you and Su Chen are progressing well. He even cooks for you. Bingshu, tell me how far you two have gone. At that moment, Yan Bingshu's face also heated up. She quickly ended the topic. I'm not talking anymore. I'm gonna eat noodles. Don't eat at night. Watch out for getting fat. Yan Bingshu put her phone away after reading this sentence, looking at me focused in the kitchen. I was already boiling the noodles. The steam from the hot water in the pot enveloped the kitchen in a blurry mist. Without rushing, I added the noodles and the meat strips. Yan Bingshu watched me from there. With my movements, there was an implicit strength. It turns out handsome men are attractive even while cooking. I shouted, "It's ready! Wash the bowl and let's eat!" Yan Bingshu immediately entered the kitchen, took out a bowl for noodles and chopsticks, and rinsed them. The hot noodles were served on the table. Before eating, Yan Bingshu felt a surge of warmth from her heart to her pale face. The warmth rose gradually. There was a surge of emotion rising to Yan Bingshu's head. In the past, when she came home this late from work, the chef had already rested, and she would simply go to bed on an empty stomach. She never thought that returning home late at night, the lights would be on for her, someone would be waiting for her, and there would be a bowl of hot noodles. It was all too comforting. I smiled and said, "Come on, eat. Weren't you hungry just a moment ago? Looking at the noodles won't fill your stomach." Yan Bingshu nodded, took the chopsticks, and started eating. She took a bite of noodles. Her eyes suddenly lit up. Delicious! My noodles were truly delicious. I sat to one side and asked with a smile, "How is the flavor?" Yan Bingshu nodded immediately. Delicious! It tastes even better than the food the aunt at home makes. Su Chen, your skill is truly incredible. I sat beside her, watching her, and incidentally spoke about Tuan Tuan and Leilei's awards. Yan Bingshu ate the noodles in large mouthfuls while listening to me. She was a bit surprised to hear that my children had received public praise at the daycare. She knew my handiwork was good, but she didn't expect me to mention this somewhat childish matter with such a proud and cheerful tone. Yan Bingshu had been worried that, when I met the children, despite being close relatives, there would be a distance because we hadn't spent time together, just as Leilei is still a bit awkward with me. But I didn't seem to have that feeling. I adapted quickly to the role of a father, and I did it better than she imagined. And what happened next? After you brought Tuan Tuan and Leilei home tonight, was there anything else interesting? Yan Bingshu couldn't help but ask. Then I brought them back and prepared a table of delicious food for them. Today, Leilei ate 3 large bowls of rice. Tuan Tuan also ate 2. I made 5 or 6 dishes plus soup, and they almost ate it all. These 2 little ones can really eat. Yan Bingshu looked at me seriously. You made dinner for the children? Why didn't the house chef prepare it? I told him not to. I went to pick up the kids and you weren't home. The 3 of us had nothing to do, so I cooked for them personally. I haven't spent much time with the babies. Shouldn't I take the opportunity to get closer to them? As the saying goes, to win a person's heart, you must first win their stomach. Having the babies like the food I make is the first step to them loving me. Yan Bingshu heard these words with surprise. She couldn't help but look at the bowl of noodles in front of her. To win a person's heart, You must first win their stomach. So, is this bowl of noodles to win my stomach? Yan Bingshu's cheeks flushed slightly. She quickly lowered her head to eat the noodles, not daring to look me in the eye. Her heart was a mess. She was happy and excited, but also a bit suspicious, fearing she had misunderstood. I saw that she was eating very fast. I smiled and said, "Eat slowly. No one is taking your food." Just as I finished speaking, Yan Bingshu choked on a bite and covered her mouth, coughing softly. I took out a tissue and gave it to her, gently patting her back. "I've discovered that on the surface you are a cool CEO, but in private you are almost the same as Tuan Tuan and Lele. When you find something delicious, you immediately forget your seriousness. Is it that the noodles I cooked are too delicious? You can't stop?" Yan Bingshu had actually just been startled by my sentence from a moment ago and had choked on a sip of soup. She coughed twice and recovered, but then I said this to her again. She choked on her own saliva this time. It was really forceful. Her face turned red from the coughing. Suddenly I laughed out loud. She stopped coughing, but her face was still very red. "Yan Bingshu, I didn't think the mother of my children at home would only focus on work. Do you know a lot of folk wisdom?" Yan Bingshu threw me a tender look. "You just keep talking." "I didn't say that. I'm simply stating the facts." "You reminded me." I couldn't help but laugh. "I didn't say anything." "You have a problem with your thoughts." "I'm full. I'm going to shower." Yan Bingshu left these words and stood up, feigning calmness. She turned around and headed to the bedroom. As soon as she entered the bedroom, she slammed the door. She hit her head with her rosy fist, frustrated. "Yan Bingshu, what are you thinking? How could you say that kind of thing and let Su Chen notice? How embarrassing. Will this affect my image in his mind? I actually don't know anything." After showering, Yan Bingshu returned to the room and started talking to Ji-Yu Yuxin. "Mrs. Ji-Yu, let me ask you something." Ji-Yu Yuxin always had her phone in her hand. She almost always replied to messages instantly. "Finished eating the noodles? You finally remember you have a best friend. Ask me. Even if you prefer your husband over your best friend, I won't abandon you. Ask any question. I promise to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. I have a friend. When she was chatting with the man she likes, she had an inappropriate thought by accident. Do you think the other person will think she's not a good girl?" Ji-Yu Yuxin laughed upon seeing it. "Honey, you're making things up. If you're not honest, I have nothing to say. After all, it's your friend, not you." Yan Bingshu was helpless. Ji-Yu Yuxin, "Fine, it's me." "Ha ha ha! My baby admitted it. If you ask me, this Su Chen is a magical man. He can make my baby worry so much. I really want to meet him. If you keep talking nonsense, I'll send your mother the novels you read." A concise sentence that hit directly at Ji-Yu Yuxin's weak spot. "Ha ha ha! Just kidding, don't take it so seriously, honey. Tell me. How was the situation at that moment? I'll give you advice after listening to you." Yan Bingshu immediately recounted what had just happened. Even typing, she couldn't help.